Okay. We are here. Yes, he knows, Iverson. I literally just told him that when you said go to bed. He literally knows you stayed up hella late, Iverson. You did. I did not. Oh, wrong one. Yee. There we go. I was like, whoa, we're going back to my games? Nope, we're going here. What's up? What's up? All right. We got
Howdy,
Chief.
friends.
Go ahead and mic check. Yep, there we go. Make sure you're still up too there, Chief, so we can hear you.
Howdy, howdy. Howdy.
Oh, okay. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, it's week 11 last week, and this week is week 12. I know my shit now. Last time we talked,
Hey!
last time we talked, I kind of was like, I don't know, but now I know. So, this last week, a lot of stuff happened, a lot of craziness. Still don't know what's gonna happen this playoffs coming up, but we shall
It's,
see.
yeah, it's been a wild week.
Mm-hmm. And that NFC East division is still crazy in both a fun
Um,
way and a really bad way.
Still garbage. It's, let me look at this.
I mean, because you got the Eagles, you got the Eagles
You have
frustrated.
4 teams that all have 3 wins. And the
Okay,
team that is in the lead is only in the lead because they tied a game instead of losing it.
Iverson, now's not the time to talk about that. we'll figure that out later, Iverson. But you got the Eagles who are frustrated as hell with their team, coaching, whatever's going on. A lot of fans are wanting Doug Peterson to leave and Carson Wentz to be benched. Well, it's kind of mixed reviews about Carson Wentz. Definitely, they want Doug Peterson out though. You got the
Yes.
Panthers who can't stay healthy, and Bridgewater's doing his best in a new system. Whatever else you want to do about that. You got. I'm sorry, I'm trying. You got the Dallas Cowboys who are on their like practice squad quarterback right now because they have nobody else.
The Dallas Cowboys are about ready to start holding signs on the freeway in Dallas going, "You used to throw in high school? Contact us."
Call Jerry Jones at this number, and he will ask you specific questions. Have you been convicted of anything? No? Okay, that's a check against you.
like
No, but
it's like when you hire a new line cook. Oh, do you have a drug problem? No. All right, then you're not
okay,
going to be a good cook.
okay, then that's obviously not a good sign because obviously you don't know how to cook.
See, I already experienced my drug problem. We moved on, and I'm still a good cook. That's how it works.
That's
Once you
exactly.
beat it, you don't lose the cook. You got to beat it.
Yep. You learn everything while you're in that situation. You take it with you once you leave.
Exactly. Exactly.
The fucked up way of looking at it, Chief. Like, yes,
Let's
I
turn
had.
it around upside down.
You know what? Yes, I had a problem, but I found a great solution out of it. So why don't you go ahead and try it and see what happens? No,
No, that's
that's not the message at all. We know.
yeah. It's not the message.
But so yeah, you got the Cowboys like that. You got them, and then last but not least, you have the Washington football team, who still don't even know what their name is.
They
Let
don't
alone
even have a name.
they don't even
Come
know.
on.
Like I mean, they don't even have a name, and on top of that, they don't even know what their team is. I mean, you got Ron Rivera, who I mean, like don't get me wrong, I still respect Ron Rivera, but he's like there or not. I don't know because he's freaking
They're
sick.
Jeff. They are a football team. It says it in their name.
Okay, we know they're a football team, but again, their quarterback situation is not even injuries. They just don't know who the hell to play because you got Haskins not giving a shit and just be like, well, I'll give it about 75% ever, maybe 50. I don't know. And you got freaking Kyle Allen who tried to step up and then, oh, he got injured, I think, actually. And then you got freaking Alex Smith who's coming out of a freaking 2 year hiatus of bad knee, bad leg, almost killing him problems. And he's sitting there like, it's been 2 years. I still kind of got it, maybe, sort of, kind of. No.
Yeah. So does Des Bryant.
Yeah, Des Bryant. Yeah, we'll see how he does coming up soon. We'll see.
We'll
Um,
see.
we'll see.
We've been waiting for 2 weeks now.
He's
We'll
still,
see.
yeah, well, yeah. Trust me, Seattle's been holding Damon Harrison for the whole season, and we're just now getting
God.
him in. We're just now getting Damon Harrison in. So trust me, I know.
Maybe they'll be smart, and then like if they actually end up playing on Sunday, maybe they'll be smart, put some of that speed in the back, let Marquise Brown run the ball because clearly his hands can't fucking catch anything or his route isn't the best. And we just put Des Bryant in and be like, you got one shot, bud. Let's go.
Yeah, and then Marquise Brown. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe he's gonna be the Ravens' next Ty Montgomery, where they put him at running back instead of wide receiver because of his speed. Or maybe they just
I
make
mean,
him.
that's like,
Maybe they make him
that's,
the screen running the screen receiver where he catches the ball with blockers in front and then takes off. You know.
that's the, and I mean, it's very unfortunate for him, but I, like, in my personal opinion, that's where I feel like he has failed as, or not failed, but like he's starting to fail as a wide receiver. Is that like he didn't have that veteran wide receiver on his team to teach him anything. Like, and no offense to Willie
Yeah.
Snead, all he had was Willie Snead,
Which Willie Snead
and
is like a 3 year
Willie
vet
Snead was
with,
on his third year. Yeah,
and he's not. He ain't hasn't catch much. He hasn't caught much in his career. So I mean, you have like a guy who's like, yeah, in the 20 catches I've had in the NFL. You know, like it's like
yeah, exactly. Like
you gotta get somebody like
he
Des
he needs some
Bryant.
mentorship.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I do believe that, like that's why I was more excited about Des Bryant being signed to the Ravens was not necessarily because of what Des Bryant was gonna do. He could still do a lot. Like he looks good out there. He's just not producing the way that he should.
Well, that's what frustrated
And
me.
that could be completely on someone else.
Well, that's what frustrated me too, because I agree with that. And I think that Des Bryant, especially for how cheap, unfortunately, just lack of better terms, they got him for, you know, I feel like that's a good way to put it. Because, like, I mean, for me, like, it's like the Seahawks. We had Terrell Owens for a 1 year, $1 million contract way back, like a few before he retired, and excuse me, guys, sorry, but yeah, we had him for a really cheap contract through the preseason, and we cut him at the final cuts before the season started. And I thought that was a really dumb move because, don't get me wrong, like I don't think Terrell Owens was going to do anything for Seattle as a receiver, but like you said, as a mentor for a lot of kids, like as the number 2 all-time touchdown receiver in NFL history, maybe he would
Oh
teach
yeah,
a thing or two.
absolutely.
Maybe he would teach a thing or two to these guys we had coming up, but instead, we decided, well, we're not looking at teaching. We're just looking at they coming in. They already been taught in college. They know what they're doing. No, no, like shit. Like that's why a lot of these
It's not.
that's why a lot of players actually come in and do they actually come up doing well. Like I mean, uh, anything. There's always been mentors and all these different things. Like yeah. Sorry, go ahead there, Chief.
Oh no, I agree with you. Like just that was like I said, that's why I was more excited about the Des Bryant signing was like, okay, he has someone in there that like, yeah, he's no Randy Moss, but like he is still a damn good wide receiver. So like maybe he can get in there and be like, all right, like Marquise Brown has the making of uh, not gonna say the next Randy Moss, but like the next Randy Moss type. Like he doesn't have that gigantic build, obviously, but like as far as just getting away from the defenders, he has that ability. He does have that ability to make that spectacular one-handed catch.
Mhm.
He just needs a little bit more molding. He's like a rough lump of clay that vaguely looks like a football player. He just needs the veteran guy to come in and be like, I just got to tighten this edge in here, make that a
Mhm.
little bit quicker, tuck that hand in a little bit more, like, and then you got the Heisman guy standing there, like, perfect.
Sharpen the details a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, like you said though, it's one of those things where like you said, he's not a big receiver like and I'm not trying to bring him up because of Seahawks fan. I'm just mean like in general, like DK Metcalf. See, Terrell Owens would have been a great, uh, or even Julio Jones would have been a great
Oh,
mentor for DK because he's a big body receiver. Who else is a big body receiver? Like I said, Julio, Terrell Owens. Get somebody like them to show him, hey, this is how you fight for the ball. Calvin Johnson would have been a great mentor for him. For somebody like Marquise Brown, I would never suggest those guys. I would suggest, like you said, somebody more lean, more limber, that's actually, got the speed to kill somebody on the outside, which was Randy Moss. Or,
Yeah.
and I'm like trying to think of everyone else too, like, if Golden Tate would actually, like, he's not, I'm not saying he's a great receiver, I'm just saying he had that speed to be able to kill somebody on the outside before with Seattle and a little bit of Philadelphia, or Deshaun Jackson sometimes too. Deshaun would have been a good
Oh,
guy.
Deshaun would have been wonderful.
So, and that's the thing that a lot of people, that's the thing though, is a lot of these guys like need that mentorship. I mean, even the NBA, any other sport, most of these guys go to training like in the NBA. Like some of these guys that were drafted, they're like, like, oh, it's, like anything you want to say about the draft. I want to thank. Like one guy said, I want to thank Rajon Rondo for his time and training and teaching me this, that, and the other as a point guard. A lot of these guys go to players, or players have, like, the players have a mentorship program, or whatever you want to call it, like training camp, whatever the hell, to teach these guys. In the NFL, usually they don't have those through the players, like on the side. They usually do it through the team, as a backup. You know,
Yeah.
and that's why you have certain players doing really well when they finally make it to the next level. Yeah, you have like different issues. You have certain situations like Rodgers and Favre where Favre didn't really train him; he had to learn, but he had the mentorship not from Favre, but his quarterback coach at the time, and that's why he had the time to be able to develop. Marquise Brown,
Yes.
he has a wide
Absolutely.
receivers coach, but you know, unfortunately,
Marquise Brown was thrown into a position of we need a number one wide receiver,
right
and he
now,
got thrown into it his rookie
right
year.
now, yeah.
And he, I mean, he did great his rookie year. Like he did exactly what we needed him to do. Like once again,
Um,
could have improved in some spots, but like yeah, he
and
now he needs that mentorship, and so he's not just running around like a loose cannon essentially.
I will argue the fact that, like, unfortunately, like he did do well last year with the Ravens and how they played. Unfortunately, it, with the way Lamar plays, though, I feel like it still was like wasn't really a good receiving year for him because the fact that the Ravens were dead last in receiving yards last year, and
Yes.
because Lamar, where he can run the ball on you or throw the ball, which is great. It still is great. But at some point, you gotta realize,
And he's much more likely to make that safe run than the risky throw.
which at some point you gotta realize as a quarterback, you gotta make that risky throw. Like I mean, like he can run the ball on you all day, but
100%.
when you're down by as much as you are, sometimes and I'm not saying the
Yeah.
Ravens will ever get to that point, but sometimes they have been at that point where they like just need like a score to get back in the game, and Lamar's still running the ball,
Yeah.
running the clock.
Like we gotta look up and we gotta go, God, if you're up there, you need like I need you to we need some angels in the outfield right now. This is what we need. I want to see some angels carrying Marquise Brown. Get the whole stadium to do one of these.
Well,
Just it's
that and
fucking
also
something, man.
at least have Lamar throw the ball too. Like I mean, I'm not saying like he's not throwing the ball. I'm just saying he needs to. Lamar needs to
We
throw the
don't need no angels. Lamar just needs to let go of the goddamn
pretty
ball.
much. I mean, I know he had that little adhesive put on his hand, so this way when he gets the ball, he just goes hike. Okay, fuck this shit. and
I have noticed that. Like that is one of my biggest pet peeves about. As much as I love the dude, as much as I love my team, like that is one of my biggest pet peeves about Lamar is like he gives no time for the play to develop. He's just
he's
immediately,
he's a
oh,
two
no one's
second
open.
quarterback. He's a 2 second
Like
quarterback.
uh,
Like he'll hike the
stand there.
ball, boom. Like
Uh,
he even has a good O line, so like he'll hike the ball and he'll have like a guy come on the outside and the tackles with him, pushing him away. But Lamar will see him move forward to the right, like if it's the right tackle, he'll go move forward to the right between the right guard, right tackle, that hole that was made, and just start running towards the right sideline, like or not to the sideline per se, but going upfield towards the sideline.
yeah,
And it's like, okay, Lamar, like that's great, but you also have that space to your right to really look downfield, and you haven't looked downfield. And you'll like immediately like because if you watch replays too, you'll see him hike, start looking receivers, see the guy come up, move forward. He immediately turns his eyes towards the linebackers, saying, "Okay, who's behind the D line looking at me right now?" If there's nobody, or if somebody's like, if he sees a certain position weird, like a hole, pretty much, he's gone. He's running, which is great. Don't get me wrong, that's some great ball carrying vision. for a ball carrier, for a running back, for a quarterback. That's still okay. But your first eyes should be still downfield first, at least a second. At least like when you get out of the pocket, look, see if anyone's open, then go. But
Yes.
but I mean like, and I'm not trying to be like oh I'm a pro football player. I'm just saying as a viewer,
As a fan.
and from what I can see, like that's why the Ravens are still doing okay this year. But from the start of the year to now, it's kind of iffy how they're going to do in the playoffs right now. Excuse me.
Very much so.
All right, good little intro session. I liked it though, and plus we still have only what was it? What is it now? So week 12. So we have 6 weeks left, month and a half of football left. And man, injuries and COVID are really taking their toll right now. I'm not gonna lie. COVID's kind of
Oh yeah.
it's still there. COVID's still there, but it's going away slowly. But definitely, man, that freaking injury list is piling on top of the COVID list. It's pretty brutal. But all right, let's go ahead and get this started here with Thursday night football, where we had the Cardinals and Seahawks NFC West showdown, and Russ Wilson didn't have a big game, but he had a clean game, as I would call it. Definitely happy that he, like I said, had a cleaner game than he did the last few weeks, where he had literally 7 turnovers the last 2 weeks beforehand. So definitely needed to have a clean game this week. 23 to 28, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns, just slow and steady. That's all we needed.
Yep. He
Yeah.
did what he had to do.
Mm-hmm. I say we. Sorry, Seattle fan here. I mean, I'm all around NFL fan, but born and raised Seattle, so that's my fault for that. And then Kyler Murray on the other side also had pretty much a clean game. 2 touchdowns, 269 yards, 29-42. Both had over 100 rating, with Russ at 119, 102 for Kyler Murray. So all around, great quarterback battle between the two. I feel like no mistakes made in that department. Uh, Kenyon Drake didn't really run the ball much, but had a touchdown. Whole team had 57 total yards rushing, which isn't a lot. And Seattle actually stepped up in the running game. I'm surprised, but they had 4 different guys run the ball, with actually Russell Wilson running it 10 times. But Carlos Hyde, 1479 yards for a touchdown, and even Bo Scarborough, which if you're not an NFL fan, if you're a college football fan, you should know that name, from Alabama, who couldn't get shit going in the NFL or anywhere, comes to freaking Seattle and runs 6 for 31 yards. I mean,
He's finally got one.
maybe Bo Scarborough finally has a home that he's looking for, which it'd be nice to see him actually play like he did in college, because he was pretty good back in college. I'm not gonna lie. Looks like Tyler Lockett had the big day today. Usually it's between him and DK Metcalf. Metcalf was silent. Lockett was there, and both had a touchdown though. And on the other side, Fitzgerald had the more catches. DeAndre Hopkins had the second. Only touchdown though was for Chase Edmonds, and then Russ Wilson has to be careful. He fumbled the ball twice, but they never picked it up. So lucky. Yeah.
Lucky man.
Yeah. And yeah, I would say the main thing about this, I would say that run the Seahawks game is probably definitely the rushing game. I think helped them get in position to win the game a lot more, to do better. I think. Um, that's interesting. Oh, so yeah, that's actually, and I think their defense stepped up too, because I'm looking at the score total. I don't know if you see that there too, Chief. So Seattle had 7 points in the first quarter, 9 in the second, 7 in the third, and then 5 in the fourth. So does that mean they had 2 safeties?
Oh, I do believe so. Um,
Like, that's a interesting looking stat there. Because that's, I mean, I'm sorry, you didn't watch the game? No, I didn't watch the game. I missed it, unfortunately. But that's a hell of a stat.
we're busy people.
Busy.
We got lives and shit.
And you know what? But I still love football, and that's why I like to see this. But I do remember seeing that there was one safety in the game. Someone said I didn't think that there was two, which that's a hell of a stat. Honestly, that's actually pretty well done. Let's get these guys on ESPN. Hey, thanks to Cade. Even though it's Kyle or Kyle. No,
Heel.
but at least Yahoo Sports. Hey, you know what? Bet I don't need no ESPN. Besides, I don't want to jump on LeBron train anyway. Fuck you.
At least Yahoo Sports.
Yeah, Yahoo Sports at least still keeps it real. It's like, okay, we're gonna be talking about. Hold on, is it about LeBron? I don't want to fucking hear it. Anyway, what was I looking at? I'm trying to see if there's. Yeah, it doesn't show me any stats on the. Yeah, but I think they had, like I said, two safeties, which is pretty ridiculous. But
It
either
does look
way,
like it, yeah.
I would say defense then and running game helped win the game for the Seahawks. Which, well done though, well done on this game, especially for the last game again. Or I think it's the last game we play against the Cardinals. So good way to go out against the NFC West rivals for them. And then next up, let me go ahead and go back here real quick. We have the Eagles and Browns, and like I said, this is one people were talking about. They're extremely pissed at how the Eagles have been playing.
Yeah, and I mean, I know you very upset about and have voiced your opinion over the season about a boy here, Baker Mayfield,
Mm-hmm.
and once again,
Mm-hmm.
not doing anything.
For
12 for
his team.
22,
For his team.
200 yards. So I mean, some of the passes were there,
I mean, he
but
finally
no
he finally
touchdowns.
made it over 200 yard mark. So that's someone give him a fucking cookie or a participation trophy, something. But man, this guy here, like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to rag on Mayfield so much, but I do because it's like, dude, he's 1,850 yards now. He dropped because last time I saw this, he was at 26 or 25th in the league. Now he's 27th for yards. He's tied for 16th with 15 touchdowns, 17th with 7 interceptions, and his rating went down. So now he's 17th with 66 rating. Like, yeah, you're winning games. Congratulations, Browns. You're winning games against teams like the Eagles, who have
But your offense is complete ass, other
been
than
your
Nick
running
Chubb.
game. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
I'm not even gonna no, I'm not even gonna give them the running game. They have Nick Chubb, and when he wants to show up, Kareem Hunt. Kareem
Yeah,
Hunt had 13 carries for 11 yards. That
yeah.
is less than a yard a carry.
And his longest was
And he was the
6.
only and he was the only offensive touchdown of the game.
Mm-hmm. Damn, really?
They had yep. Or of well for the Browns at least. Uh let's see.
Guarantees
Where was it?
medicine on me. Bet I will go over there and smack the shit
Oh
out of
yeah.
Mayfield and make him throw the ball.
Was it? Taki Taki had a defensive touchdown. Looks
Oh yeah,
like that was
yep,
yep.
yeah. The
It was
interception for a touchdown,
interception for a 50-yard touchdown,
and then the field
and
goals after that.
there were the field goals, and oh, I thought there was a kick return. Nope, just kidding.
No, it was it looks like it was a safety. Yeah,
Okay,
because
Cody
there's
Parkey going 2 for 3,
mhm.
two extra points, scoring 8 points total for the team.
And then a
Yeah,
safety
just
for the team to get the extra 2 points in the third quarter because they had a total of 5 points third quarter. So yeah, the Browns won by 5 points because of pretty much like you said, Nick Chubb and defense. Like Mayfield, like yeah, he was getting the ball downfield somewhat, but this is where again like it's gonna come a bit mostly in the playoffs probably because what are the playoff like especially seeing these stats, what's the main thing that a lot of these teams are gonna do when they see, oh, I'm playing the Browns this week, for wild card Sunday or for a divisional round depending on how far they get. What are they gonna first look at? They're not gonna look at Mayfield. They're gonna look at the defense, see how they can screen against the defense, and they're gonna get their D line and linebacking cores to know blitz schemes, to know like gap assignments, etc., to stop the running game. But what about Mayfield? Fuck Mayfield. What's he gonna do? Throw 200 yards on us? Ha 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 ha. That's it. Like they don't like he's not showing that he's a threat. If anything, he's showing that he's just
he's
there
not a
to
finisher. He
yeah.
moves the ball, but he can't finish.
Like he's just showing that he's the guy that just gives the ball off to the main target. He goes, Hike, take it and go. So
Get this away from me as fast as you can.
whatever you do, just don't let him touch me. And even then, he still had 3 sacks on him. So quarterback rating, because he has a rating of 86.2, but his quarterback rating was 24.8. And on the other side with Wentz, who literally had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 5 sacks. So he had 2 more interceptions and 5 total sacks, 2 more sacks than Mayfield, and he only had 4 quarterback rating less than Mayfield did because he had the 2 touchdowns, and Mayfield had nothing. And that's where again, I mean, Wentz can have the year that he wants, which is, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty effing bad. But
Yeah.
at least he's throwing the ball. Like he has, he's actually like there's a backup quarterback that's doing better than him. He's 14 interceptions, which is 33rd in the NFL right now, and he has the fifth worst quarterback rating at 48.2. So again, I ask you, Chief. It would actually no, I can't ask you because the problem is that, like you said before, even with all that shit, he's still tied for first in the NFC East. Like, I, I don't even know what to say about the
Yep.
NFC East. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
We move on, and we keep in the back of our minds that it has been considered that they will change the rules if there is a team that shitty.
After this year, they really should. Like, I'm looking at the freaking Western Conference and Eastern Conference of the NBA, going, I get it. Y'all got it right.
Well, I figured it out. I figured it out a couple weeks ago. There is a possibility that we could have a 5-11 team
You did, yeah.
in the playoffs. All these teams are 3-7 right now. As I don't remember what team off the top of my head, but one of them plays two teams from the division during the rest of the year.
Yep.
They would have to win those two games in order to solidify first place. But if every team loses other than that team winning those two games, or I think there's one or two more divisional games, so like a team could win one, but there is a actual possibility that we are going to have a 5-11 team in the playoffs this year.
Oh yeah, and you know that all the sports, all the NFL channels, whichever you want to look at, CBS, Fox, ESPN, all of them are gonna have a field day with that.
And if someone goes 5-11 and then makes a legitimate run, I mean, I don't. There's no way it could fucking happen. Like I, I can't even say I can't say
Oh,
there's no way, but like if that happens, like I might legitimately
like
just
the
have to take a break from football for a year. Just
like the
like,
7-9,
all
the
right,
or whatever it was,
um,
Giants that beat the Patriots in the
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, beat the undefeated
Hey,
fucking
thanks for the lurk there,
Patriots.
Wick. I appreciate it. But yeah, the one that beat the Patriots, which what did they go 9-7 or 7-9? I forget. I think it was 9-7. I don't think they
I
were
think it
like.
was 9-7. Yeah.
I don't think they were a losing team because then that would have been bigger. But yeah, Whew, that it just still a 5-11 team.
Absolutely
And like you
wild.
said, I don't see them going far. If they somehow make it to even the championship, the NFC Championship, I will wear an Eagles jersey. I will people I will find ways for people send me money so I can buy an Eagles jersey. I will wear a Wentz jersey. I will wear it. I don't even care. He can throw the most interceptions this year. I will wear a Wentz jersey and be like, hey, we're here. Okay? Like seriously. How I don't I see him making the playoffs absolutely because of the way that division's going. But I mean, wildcard weekend's gonna be like that's the ending point. Like, okay, one more week,
Oh
guys.
yeah.
Like after week 17, they're gonna be like, all right, we're ready for the playoffs, man.
No.
Like, like whoever. That's the worst part is that like I don't know how the division works per se. Like with everything, like especially with the record. Like I don't know how it's gonna work for the draft. But if it works the way I think it does, they're gonna go into the playoffs. They can still lose the playoffs and still have a top 10, top 15
Yep.
pick, even though they were in the playoffs the year before.
They could win in the playoffs.
They could win the Super Bowl and still get a top 10, top 15 pick.
Well, no. Uh, no, I
Oh
think,
no.
well, I think it goes, I think it does go by record, but it goes by like division two. So I think there's some combination of it. I don't know the
Okay.
exact.
Because I know for sure record obviously is what goes in first, and then after that it goes by who won, like Super Bowl, like who, like who won this
Yeah.
round, who won that round, like when you left the playoffs, pretty much. Like Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm sure if if there's like a if there's a tie kind of thing, like not saying that there would that it's happening this season, but like Ravens and Steelers tie, but both games that they played, the Ravens beat them, so the Ravens are going to have a lower draft pick than the Steelers.
which makes you then wonder, like,
Or sorry, they'll sorry. The Steelers would have a high. The Steelers would get a pick before the Ravens. Sorry,
which then makes you
that's
wonder
what I meant.
though, if like, because like I said, they're all fighting for first place right now. If you're a team in the NFCs, would you? Because again, like if you make it to the playoffs, like yeah, you made it to the playoffs, but then what next? You know, like you can try to win the games after, but like, would you rather tank to get to make sure you guarantee that good draft pick, or would you rather try to make the playoffs and say, hey, let's see what happens? Like that's
Yeah,
where you kind of gotta like really
yeah.
choose
Would you
your
rather
battles.
take your chances in the playoffs or take your chances in the draft?
Which honestly, for me, no disrespect to any of these teams, but fuck, I would take my chances in the draft because, you know, like I said, you have the draft every year, you have the playoffs every year, but you have different people in the draft every year, and depending on what you're looking for, especially like with teams like this who are a bottom food chain of the freaking NFL right now, I'd be looking at some really big, low, high value below whatever it is draft class targets. You know, the ones that are like picks 1 through 15. I
Yes,
wouldn't be looking at picks 20 through 30. You know what I mean? So,
exactly. Yeah.
so I would be like, hey, Eagles, you want to go to the playoffs? Have fun. See you later.
Yeah,
Y'all
we'll
do
let you.
you do your thing. Oh, you want us to play you against this? Okay, here. Looking at Teddy Bridgewater, Matt Ryan. Go ahead and throw the ball. You know what I mean?
Well, the divisional games will be interesting for sure.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Definitely see how that goes. But yeah, I would say I would rather take my chances in the draft, prepare for the next year to try to solidify my team for a winning record, rather than like having a losing record, making the playoffs, and having to pick somebody later on in the draft than someone who got a better record than me and took my guy that I wanted. So that
Absolutely.
that's all. Because I know the Seahawks got screwed over that one time when they beat the Saints in the playoffs when they went 7-9. But that was during the Lynch
Good
Beast run.
videos going for a second, but
Okay,
still here,
don't worry.
audio wise.
It still shows your name, Rob. All right. So while he's going doing that thing, we're gonna move on. So we were just talking about the Eagles and Browns, and Browns moving on. Or actually, let's finish that up. Actually, we didn't really talk about too much. So as we said, Nick Chubb, 20 carries, 114 yards, definitely carried the load for this game. With Kareem Hunt getting the touchdown, not really doing much though running. On the Eagles side, Miles Sanders ran the ball quite a few times, wasn't getting much going, unfortunately. No touchdowns at all for a running team on the Eagles. Dallas Goddard stepped up hugely, 5 catches, 77 yards for a touchdown. Richard Rodgers, the other one, getting a touchdown as well. And Kadarrell Hodge, a new name for, and with Rashard Higgins stepping up for the Cleveland Browns, 3 catches, 73 yards for Hodge, and Rashard Higgins with 3 catches, 65 yards. So definitely some new faces and new targets for, which is again showing you. I'm sorry, I gotta go back to this, showing you that the Browns have legitimate targets. Like,
I was gonna say it
oh,
seems to me like the Brown. It seems to me like the Brown or Baker Mayfield got that many yards because he had good runners.
and he did because you got Kadarrell Hart 73 yards off 3 catches, and he had a long for 42 yards. So he made a catch and then just was gone. Rashard Higgins 43 long, which means he had a catch and was gone. So it's showing though also that even though they lost OBJ for the year, they still have Landry, who didn't do much, but it's still okay because he's still Jarvis Landry. Austin Hooper, David Njoku, who again also didn't do much, but again that's just because he's not targeted enough. Rashard Higgins and this guy Kadarrell Hodge, who all step up, who are all making plays, and this guy Mayfield is just he's not. He even had 2 fumbles. Mayfield had 2 fumbles in this game, one loss to the defense, dude. Like the weight and the fact that the Browns still won by 5 points with all the stuff that Baker did not do or did do negatively, like just shows that the
Defense and
defense,
special teams.
Defense is carrying them. The running game is carrying them. And like the worst part is that the Cleveland Browns GM is still saying that Baker's having a good year. That's where I'm like, I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I'm really not.
Baker's having a good year for the Browns.
Well, Baker's having a. I wouldn't say he's having a good year for the Browns. I'm saying that the Browns are having a great year for Baker Mayfield. Like I'm saying, the Browns are. The defense is stacked. The running game is great. I think they're carrying Mayfield. That's what's going on. And
Well,
unfortunately,
I more meant like in since it's the Browns, like they don't have a lot of quarterbacks to compare to, so they're like, this is
right?
the fucking like this is our Tom Brady, and yeah, he's no Tom Brady, but he's
No,
our Tom Brady.
which is and it sucks though because the fact that they make him the Tom Brady of their team, which, and I'm sorry, it's just that it's fallen the long list of Browns quarterbacks we've seen over the last 20 years because they've had like almost 30 total quarterbacks in 20 years, and he's just on the list of ones that are just not going to do it. And I mean, I know people want to say, well, give him a shot, give him a shot. He had one good game this year where he had 5 touchdowns and what was it like? Did he have 300 yards? I think he had 300 yards passing almost. But he had 5 touchdowns and almost 300 yards, and that was a great game. Now, I'm not saying he has to get 5 touchdowns. I'm just saying that yardage wise, he needs to be up there. And then the rest of these games, he's been non-existent, not there, no stats, and that's why he's at the bottom of the list on quarterbacks.
Exactly. Um, yeah, I think it's literally it's chalking up to that. Like this is the best quarterback that, and I will give Baker Mayfield this. This Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback that we have seen come out of the Browns organization in a while.
In a while, yeah.
But he's gonna fall into, well, yeah, he popped off for a little bit and then fell into the Browns quarterback system.
I will say this only because of all the quarterbacks they've had in their system, like through Cleveland. I feel like this team, like overall, besides the quarterback, you put any other quarterback, any of those quarterbacks, I feel like, would actually have stepped up with the receivers they have. I feel like, I mean, I'm not going to say guaranteed because I don't want to say people to jump at me going, no, that wouldn't happen. But I feel like certain quarterbacks, like possibly Deshaun Kaiser, possibly Josh McCown, you know, certain
What
players
if you
like,
put Matt Stafford in there?
well, I'm talking about players who've actually been through the Browns organization.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I'm talking like players who have actually been through the Browns organization that have had the teams that were not good at all. Because you remember that this team was not there completely. There was no defense
Yeah, that's
before for a
true.
lot of these teams. There was no running game. There was no because they had freaking Trent Richardson, if you remember that, drafted third overall, didn't do shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then and in the receiving game, they had Josh Gordon suspended for like 5 fucking years with the Browns before he finally got sent to Seattle, still suspended. And you know, it's like, excuse me, it's like you see all this stuff going on, and it's like now you have the team, but now the quarterback situation, all those guys I feel like could have with this team wouldn't be phenomenal. Like I feel like Josh McCown would have had a great season with the Browns if he was there during this time. Mayfield
Yes.
is he has the team there. He just I don't know what's going on. I need to watch a game with him because I feel like he's just not seeing that he has this team for him. Like he has the team to do it. I mean, he's still getting somewhat downfield, sure, but I mean, it's mostly Nick Chubb saying, "Hey, bro, let's do it." Like I don't know. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you on it.
Yeah,
It's
and yeah, I mean, like I said, and I'm not saying this because, like I said, I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I'm just trying to say that he needs to realize what kind of team he has right now, because when he hits the playoffs and he plays like this, dude, the other team's gonna fucking dominate. They're gonna be mostly watching for the run game. They're gonna be like looking at, and then the teams and the whole Browns organization is gonna be looking at Baker like, all right, bro, we need you to make your throws, and he's gonna be like, what throws? You know what I mean? Like it's just like that's the whole point. That's why you gotta it's his time to step up. You got 6 weeks. Gotta start making some plays. You gotta start showing like, hey, I'm a quarterback. I will do this in the playoffs. Otherwise, they're gonna stop your running game. You're not gonna make it far. But and then speaking of the defense, I got to go through this real quick because I see on the Philadelphia side, 12 total tackles for Alex Singleton. Did a great job with a sack and a quarterback hit. And on the Cleveland side, Olivier Vernon, great game for him. 5 total tackles, 4 solo, 3 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 4 quarterback hits. And he also pass deflected from the line as well. Really great game for Olivier Vernon. He definitely made Wentz feel his presence today, or that day, today, whatever, last week. And then also shout out to Sione Takitaki with the interception, brought back 50 yards for a touchdown as well. All right, and sorry, that was a little bit of a rant there. Like I said, I get heated when I because like it's such a great team and just that one little thing. Any team that has that one little problem, I'm gonna rant about because I'm like, dude, just fix it. If you fix it, you're gonna be a fantastic team. Like the Steelers, like pretty much like are set up the same way as the Browns. I'm not saying exactly the same. I'm not saying they have the same weapons, same everything. I'm just saying that the Browns have what they need, but that Ben Roethlisberger for them. And I'm saying, not saying again, not Big Ben's the issue. It's a solution for them. I'm just saying they need that last part, just a little bit, and I feel like the Browns could really go far in the playoffs. But right now, no,
Yes.
no. I feel like right now the Browns are going to go in and get stomped by somebody.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They. Yes. Yep.
Yep. Sorry again.
Just.
The rants are coming in.
No,
I feel good.
Good. Good.
Next up, we have.
Now,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No. I talked. Go
oh yeah,
ahead.
no. Oh no, I was gonna say, and now like we have Iverson's favorite game of the week, the Saints
Oh, you.
versus the Falcons.
I was saying not just Iverson. I felt good. You know why? We all thought the same thing because we were told Jameis Winston's going to start, and then Friday or Saturday before the game was going, we saw an article, a beautiful article, and it said, and I quote, "Taysom Hill is starting for the fucking Saints. Let's go."
Amazing.
Taysom
And
Hill.
you know, not a bad game from Taysom either.
Exactly.
Not a fucking bad game.
What were those stats?
18 for 23.
Huh?
Dude, not bad at all. Throwing for 233 yards.
Shoot,
Excellent.
More than Baker does every game. So I mean,
Exactly. Averaging 10.1 yards. That's a first down every fucking time the ball leaves his hand.
and
No
the
touchdowns.
and the rating
No
is
interceptions.
over 100 rating.
108.9 rating.
Hell yeah.
He was sacked 3 times, but also carried the ball 10 times for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of them going for 20 yards.
And yep. Oh man, I did.
And yes, it's only a yard, but he outthrew Matt Ryan by 1 yard.
Well, speaking of Matt Ryan, let's look at the stats for Matt Ryan, shall we? 19 of 37, 232 yards. So he only threw like really one throw over 50%. He 232 yards, 6.3 average, no touchdowns on 2 picks, and that O line was horrific for Matt Ryan with the 8 total sacks. 8 total sacks for 36 yards. That's that's brutal. I'm not gonna lie. That like
Hey, didn't lose the ball once though. Held
no,
on to it all 8 times.
nope.
Got to give it to him.
I mean, he threw 2 picks, which could have been from.
I'll
getting
give
hit.
Matt Ryan there.
He threw 2 picks from getting hit, possibly, but like you said, he did not fumble it, so I will give him that. But you got, but and also, I mean, give him that, and also on the other side, I'm also praising the hell out of that Saints D line because I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. That D line is underrated. I mean, a lot of people know about Cameron, or not, sorry, Cameron Hayward. That's Steelers. Cameron Jordan, okay, yeah, Cameron Hayward,
Yep.
Cameron Jordan,
Yeah, Cameron Jordan
is what I was thinking. And but it's just not just Cameron Jordan; it's that entire D line. And I'm not gonna lie,
Cameron Jordan with 3 sacks on the day.
Oh, and
David Onyemata with 2 sacks on the day.
yeah,
Trey Hendry, Trey Hendry, yeah, Hendrickson.
Hendrickson.
There it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Hendrickson, 2 sacks on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Demario Davis, 1 sack on the day.
Yep. And that's a linebacker.
Fucking incredible.
Yeah, that and that's and so yeah, that entire D line and linebacking core stuffed, stacked against Matt Ryan, and
You
then
got
they.
Marcus Williams and Janoris Jenkins, both with a
Mm-hmm,
pick.
mm-hmm.
Absolutely beautiful
And
from the
and
defense.
on top of all that, last week they picked up, or the week before, or sorry, during the trade deadline, excuse me, they picked up Quan Alexander from the 49ers, which I'm sorry, I don't care what you say. Quan Alexander is a freaking beast, and they added that to their linebacking core of gods. Dude, like Saints are like I know Brees is injured, and I know a lot of people are talking about other teams, but I feel like the Saints. If I had to pick a team in the NFC that's really dangerous right now that I'm watching out for, it would be still New Orleans. I would say the Saints right now are arguably the better team in the NFC right now. That's the favorite to really take it all the way. And that's in the NFC, like I said, because a lot of people might say AFC teams, but like, and I know, and this is like I said, like people are like, oh, Seattle, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm still thinking that there's a lot of good teams going into the playoffs, but Seattle is, Russell Wilson has having his issues, and that's only like I said, I'm blaming the O line on that because he's tired. I'm sure Russell Wilson's tired. Cardinals are dangerous with Kyler Murray, but again, that defense for the Cardinals is okay. It's not that great. It's not up there quite yet, but they're getting there. But the Saints defense is stacked. They're just whew. It's hard to even see them. It's gonna be hard to see them lose in the playoffs, honestly, if they lose. But sorry, let me go back up real quick. I was gonna say, yeah, Taysom Hill, well, yep, and then Kamara and Latavius Murray both ran the ball. Kamara with a touchdown. And yep, and then Taysom threw to his favorite guy, Michael Thomas, 9 catches, 104 yards, and Emmanuel Sanders, 4 catches, 66 yards. And on the other side, like I said, Matt Ryan tried to do what he could. Rushing was not there for the Falcons. Total of 52 yards as a team. Definitely not good. Calvin Ridley did what he could. 5 catches on 90 yards on 9 targets. Russell Gage 7 of 58 on 12 targets. So definitely a rough game as far as for hitting his targets for Matt Ryan. Probably in due to the fact that his O line was crumbling under pressure. So definitely, like I said, I'm gonna give this win to the Saints defense for stepping the hell up and just, like I said, just destroying Matt Ryan. 8 sacks. Cameron Jordan, one like nominee for defensive player of the week, along with Olivier Vernon. I think both of them have been great. Ooh, goodness.
Absolutely beautiful.
Who do you think, though, Chief? I was meaning to ask you because that's why I said it. Who do you like top NFC teams? Do you see anybody else right now as well for NFC top team?
For top team, let me see.
Oh, Billy!
What do we got for standings?
I know it's all good. Yeah, like I said, like I was looking at the NFC West. And I'm thinking about NFC North as well with the Packers. You know,
As of, right now, I see obviously the Packers going in.
mm-hmm.
Uh, Maybe if they go on a little bit of a run, the Bears, but very unlikely.
Especially with the injury to Nick Foles and Trubisky's out, so now they have who knows coming in.
Exactly. You got the Rams and the Seahawks battling back and forth. That's going to be a close one. Same thing in the NFC South. You got the Saints and the Bucks battling back and forth. Saints are 8-2. Bucks are 7-4.
Yeah, honestly, I see the Saints finishing
Uh,
out on top and Bucks going in as a wild card, but
NFC East is a clusterfuck that no one knows.
it's gonna really have some talks about instead of having division, having just the top 6 teams going in because again, it shouldn't matter about division. It should matter about how good your team is. I mean, yeah, division rivalry
Exactly.
is always going to be there, which is fantastic. But I feel like having a team going in at most 6 or 5 wins into the playoffs. Like,
So I think what was it? How it's 10 teams, right?
hmm,
Yeah. So
5 on each side. Yeah. Wait, 5 or 6 on each side. Because I think
um,
it's only the first team that gets a bye week, right? No, first 2 teams, right?
um yeah, 2 teams get the bye week.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it's 6 each division because I think it's first and second place get the bye week. 3 and 4 play 5 and 6. I think, unless they change that.
All right. Well, I see Chiefs, Steelers,
Yeah,
Bills, Dolphins,
that's all.
Colts, Titans.
Yeah, 6.
That's the whole AFC. I see them all going in the playoffs.
Okay.
And it looks like we have Packers, Saints,
Mm-hmm.
Bucks, Rams, Seattle, filler from the NFC East because I literally have no fucking idea. Like that's
just say NFC East team. Just say NFC East team because we have no idea who's gonna finish.
yeah. I am just forewarning you, my lights have been flickering a little bit, so if
Oh
I all of
no.
a sudden cut out and I am not there, we have lost power.
Okay.
Um, I didn't think it was storming or anything, but yeah, it's flickered a couple of times, so just fair warning.
So everyone, if we see Chief freeze up on us, may lose Chief for a minute or so, or for actually a little bit. But we'll see if he comes
Might
back.
lose me for a little bit.
So we'll
I can, uh, I'm pretty sure my phone's charged up, so, oh yeah, phone's charged up, so I can at least join
he'll
the
come
party through
back
my
and just
phone
be
and we can chat.
FaceTiming us or something.
Yeah.
just just like have like I'm trying to see if I can do it from the. Hey guys, how's it going? That'll be fun. But yeah, so pretty much the playoffs is gonna look very very interesting though. I mean, as far as the NFC East teams, that we'll see how that goes. But yeah, definitely, uh, definitely looking forward to it. And hey, Taysom Hill, if he leads the team to the playoffs and does a Nick Foles and wins the Super Bowl as a quarterback for the Saints, yo, best signing ever for the Saints right there. Poor Jameis Winston. I will admit, I feel bad for Jameis Winston because I know he was ready to shine, and Taysom was like, "Hey, that's cool, man. Go ahead. I'll be tight end or something." And Sean Payne said, "You know what? No, you're going to be a quarterback. You came in as a quarterback. You're going to be a quarterback." And so now Jameis is on the sideline, probably looking like Cam Newton after the Super Bowl, like he's super fit. uh, Sorry, that was mean. I don't care. So next game we have is a heartbreaker for me and Chief here because we're big fans. And Bengals losing to the Washington football team, and that's not all they lost.
You know, I will say wholeheartedly that, I mean, probably completely unjustified. I thought Joe Burrow was just a smug asshole
And LSU.
going into the beginning of this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally just came around to Joe Burrow like 3, 4 weeks ago. Like, you know what? Maybe he's not that big of an asshole. Like he's trying. He's just a rookie trying to, thrown into a starting quarterback position, doing whatever the
Damn.
fuck he can to like make his team something. And then just he's done for this season. And I'm scared for next season because it was an ACL, an MCL tear,
Yeah.
something else on top of it. Like this
The whole
was,
knee, pretty
and
much. Just kind of give you guys a perspective if you guys didn't see the play. It's on YouTube if you guys want to see it. But basically, the left tackle, right tackle did great jobs blocking their guys because they were trying to pull the defense were trying to pull on the outside. They pushed them all the way back to the end zone because they were back on their 5 yard line. So the tackles, boom, did their best or did their job. The left guard, and I know it's probably mean because most people say it's not the left guard's fault. He blew his blocking scheme because the guy goes on the outside of the left guard. Left guard misses it. Left guard gets knocked back because he's off balance trying to block this guy. Guy takes him down. Left guard goes straight into Joe Burrow's knee, which collapses under pressure. And like he says, pretty much that knee after it gets hit, tear, everything messed up. And for me, that looks like shit to me. I mean, luckily they pulled him out, didn't have him play anymore, unlike RG3 when he had his injury back in the day. But I'm still looking at it like, could it be an RG3 injury where he tries to come back after the injury, but he's not the same quarterback? Because I mean, let's face it, that's an injury that's, don't get me wrong, Alex Smith had a horrible injury, but this injury is still like we just see people come from ACL injuries like, oh yeah, well, they'll be back next year. No, it's not like that. Sometimes it's a pretty big injury. It's hard to come back from that, you know? And I don't know. I mean, like it sucks too because I mean, arguably for most people, arguably, I would say that Joe Burrow's on his way to being the O'Roy of the season for the AFC without a doubt. Like
Absolutely.
like I'm just going back to like I think it was like week 3 or 4 when they had him throw for 60 plus passes, and he completed like 37 to 40 or something like that of them. Like he threw for a lot though. He threw pretty much most of the game, and he was doing great this season. He was still leading the team as much as he could. That defense wasn't doing well for him. His O line wasn't helping him at all. He kept getting hit all year, and now he just happened to take a really bad hit to the knee that ends the season. Just yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to. I mean, Chief, anything?
No, just he was on pace to break a whole bunch of records.
Mm-hmm.
He finished with 2,688 yards and 13 touchdowns. Probably wouldn't have beat the rookie touchdown record,
No,
but
that was I think. I'm not trying to like not to brag, but I think Wilson did that in his rookie year, or he was close to it.
it is unfortunately your least favorite quarterback in the league. He had 27 his rookie year in only
Not
13 starts.
not Baker, right?
Yes, Baker.
Oh, and I'm not saying he's not my least favorite quarterback. I'm just saying that he's. It's not that I don't like the guy. Again, it's the fact that he, like, exactly, he had 27 touchdowns in his first season as a rookie, which you're like, holy shit, this guy's ready. Like, he's ready to
In
go.
13 games.
In 13 games for Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in 13 games.
13 games, 27
So
touchdowns.
13 games, he had 27 touchdowns, and he probably got injured. So okay, so he had 27 touchdowns. And this year, and we're almost to week 13. This next week, after this week, will be week 13. He only has, they say 15 touchdowns. Yeah, 15 touchdowns, which is
Yeah.
tied for like low, like over the bottom half, pretty much in like 17th or 18th. And it's like, how do you go from you're supposed to when you get in the NFL, you're supposed to progress. Like Wilson progressed, Rodgers a few years later progressed because he was on the bench. Obviously there's guys that don't progress. Deshaun Kaiser regressed. Matt Leinart regressed. Vince Young had a good start, regressed. It's just stuff like that. And then you look at a guy like Baker who fucking shot up like right away on his rookie year, and people are like, yeah, he's a good guy. And next thing you know, now he's down to here, freaking relying on his running game. That's why, like, I don't hate the guy. It's like, dude, you've proven you can be that quarterback in college and in your rookie year. What the fuck
Yes.
happened? Like, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at like, what the fuck is going on with you? Is it because OBJ's there? I mean, like, shoot, like OBJ and Jarvis Landry came in, he turned into a little bitch. Excuse my language. I'm
Yes.
like, I don't know if OBJ made him like he was like, hey, what's up, OBJ? Shut the fuck up. Sorry. Like, I don't know what happened. Like I said, I'm not trying to hate the guy. I'm just like trying to say what like I just want to see him come back to that rookie season and be like, yo, throw the ball to you guys, get that shit going. Like, yeah, just you're a quarterback. Show it, show it. Back to this though. I'm sorry, I kind of went off on that again.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I keep doing that. But with Joe Burrow, like you said, he had a great season coming, and I'm just worried as shit because it's like, dude, he had like like you said, he was on pace to do so much. Like maybe not for his touchdowns, but for yardage, for attempts. Like dude was he was trying his best for that team. Like I mean, look at the people he has on that team. Like he doesn't have shit. Joe Mixon's a running back for him, which he is supposed to be a good back. This year he's been shit. His O line is garbage, and people he's throwing to, like let me tell you these names, okay? Tyler Boyd, okay, and you got Eifert, Tyler Eifert, and you got crap because AJ Green's pretty much not there. AJ Green's like fuck this, I want to go elsewhere, which fuck him, So you got Tyler
Yeah.
Boyd, Tyler Eifert,
Mhm.
uh, and I can't remember the other one's name. There's one more that's like trying to step up for the team. But basically, the point is that, like that guy I forgot about, these names you're looking at me going, who exactly? Like he's he's throwing to guys that no one really knows about, but he's making it. He's getting it done. Like yeah, they only won 3 games, but he's doing his part. The problem with the team is that they don't have a team. They don't have a defense. They don't have receivers. They don't have an O line. Pretty much, they're just an organization that just kind of went, okay, pick and choose, pick and choose, pick and choose, and that's it. And so, I mean, like, I don't know. Do you think that this, like, that's you, Chief? Do you think they come back next year, like, with, Joe Burrows probably won't be starting next year? I'm just saying, due to the injury, how late it happened in the season, I think he's out going into next season. Do they go into the
Well,
draft?
I was gonna say this is a very similar type of injury that Carson Wentz actually had,
Okay,
and
and he did that
right
last.
around the same time, and he missed the first 2 games of the season.
Right,
And that was more of a precautionary measure than it was he couldn't play because he was geared up, he was practicing. It was more of a just a precautionary. They wanted him at 100%.
right.
So if the Bengals do right by Joe Burrow, which they really fucking should, they're going to let him sit out the first couple of games. I would say at
I
that
would.
point, you kind of, I mean, and Joe Burrow has proved that if he stays with it and like if he stays doing what he's doing, like he's going to be a great quarter, like he is going to be a great franchise quarterback. But you need to do right by him. You need to, you kind of need to sacrifice next year already and go, all right, well, we kind of need to treat next year like a continuation of his rookie season. Just keep the development on and move from there.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. So, back to my question, I was going to say, so going to this future draft, I mean, I know they're still trying to finish the season. Going to this draft, though, coming up, as a team, what do you look for specifically in this draft? Do you go for, like, because I'm sure they're going to be looking at, like, my
If they
guess,
don't take an offensive lineman round one,
they're fucked.
they have already done Joe Burrow wrong.
I agree 100%. And I agree 100%. But knowing these organizations and, you know,
I'll
just
make
just their thought processes. Like I'm not saying I know it, but I'm saying from years past that we've seen. I'm guessing like I'm looking at like the Bengals looking at receivers right now for the draft. I already can see that they're like O line should be there,
so
but
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the draft class is looking next year.
mhm.
Um, but if I do think that they if they do are or if they do plan to go that wide receiver route, I can understand. I wouldn't be happy with, but I could understand a wide receiver in the first round. If it's not an offensive lineman in the second round, and early second round kind of thing, then Joe Burrow should immediately be looking for somewhere else to play. He should be making contacts elsewhere so that when his 5 years is up, because the Bengals are probably going to extend that, extend that rookie contract.
Mhm.
When those 5 years are up, get the fuck out of town and work on your legacy.
Which does suck as a rookie being stuck in if like Andy Dalton's case, for instance. I mean, he was there most of his career because he wanted to be there, and he had proven like he had a strong beginning. Obviously, now we know how he's doing. He definitely another one that went, you know, because he kind of
Yep,
he
it's
showed
crashed.
progression, but then because the Bengals are the Bengals, again, like we're looking at the Browns. The Browns have pretty much flipped their script from when they were like even just 0-16 or any of that shit. Okay, the Browns have flipped their script. I commend the Browns for their team right now. Besides the fact that their quarterback needs to step the fuck up. But this makes the Browns need to have done well. The Bengals are the opposite. The Bengals had a good team, because they had Carson Palmer back in the day. They had, oh god, what's the guy from the Bears they had for a running back? Uh, Crap. He was the Bears running back for a while. Then he went to the Bengals. I can't remember his name, but he was there too starting. They had Ocho Cinco,
Remember?
had To there for a second. It was a decent team. It was a decent team, and even the defensive backs they had Roy Williams back in the day. All those guys. Um, Even when before he started doing the 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 fouls and stuff. The what's his name too? That guy. Um, like I said, I'm horrible with names right now. But they had a great team. Dunlap was there too. And then, like I said, flip the script now. Joe Burrow comes in as a great quarterback. You have a great quarterback. That's good. Wide receivers, not much. I mean, Tyler Boyd, I think, could be a really good receiver or a decent receiver for them, but he's not number one. Possibly a number two, if anything. But like, I feel like they're making the number two or three receiver into a number one, which is not good. Eifert, like you said, he's more of like a number two tight end, and they're trying to make him number one. So I mean, it's like they have a lot of players that are like backup caliber starting, especially that O line. That O line is backup practice squad at best kind of squad right now, and
Yeah.
definitely, like you said, like I'm looking at the draft class, like you were saying, and already there's a number two, Panay Sewell from Oregon as an offensive tackle would be a great pickup for them just to get somebody who can at least block for him. Um,
Yes.
and I also see number five, Jamar Chase, wide receiver from LSU. I could definitely see them picking him up instead. Um, or Jalen Waddle from Alabama for a wide receiver. Hell, they could even go for a tight end with Kyle Pitts, possibly. Like, I see a lot of receivers, honestly, though, and a couple of offensive tackles. And I do hope, and like I said, I'm crossing my fingers on this. I do hope they go for an offensive lineman for Joe Burrow's sake. But I could definitely see them going, well, Joe Burrow needs a wide receiver buddy. Let's go for a wide receiver instead. And then we'll draft
Yes.
an offensive tackle or guard. Later on in the draft, and get a bunch of guys from no name colleges like, Jake Johnson from University of Montana. Who? And then and then all of a sudden it's like Montana had like the worst.
Aloysius Swisherton,
And then you look up,
University of South Tennessee.
yep, and you look up US, and you look up University of South Tennessee, and you see they had the worst O line in the whole NCAA. And it's like, oh shit, it's like that's like I don't care if you come from a small college, but if it's a shitty O line, yeah, yeah, I'm just worried. I worry about that. But sorry, got caught off on that, and I'm sorry I do that sometimes. But it's like one of those things where, again, it looks like an RG3 injury. I worry because, yeah, it's not good. It's and then this game just kind of shows it too. Joe Burrow went 22 to 34, 203 yards for a touchdown, and then Ryan Finley came in and he went 3 for 10 for a touchdown with only 30 yards thrown. And yeah, that's not good. Like the fact that your backup comes in to go 3 for 10 with an interception. I mean, he didn't have much time to really do anything or to really like prepare, but he also had 4 sacks on the day. And Alex Smith on the other side had a touchdown, an interception, on 17 for 25, 166 yards. So besides Joe Burrow, both quarterbacks didn't really do much in this game, which, like I said, really really hurts them honestly. Um,
Yes.
and then you have rushing, where pretty much again there's nobody really there to help with the rushing game. Uh, didn't really do much. And then you have on the Washington side, Antonio Gibson actually stepped up pretty well, got a touchdown with that 16 of 94. And yeah, pretty much I would just say, like, going through everything else, the reason why this game was the way it is mostly just Joe Burrow getting injured. Main issue, which really sucks. Really, it just hurts to see.
It does.
Once again, sorry for the long
Oh,
winded.
Well, it was giving me time to set up what I needed to set up, so you're good.
Cool. So next up, we got a shutout, 20-0. Panthers beat the Lions. Did you say the Lions were gonna win?
No, actually, I don't remember.
I just know the Panthers
I
shut
might
out.
have. I had an absolute shit week as far as picks went.
I think mine went pretty bad too.
You did better than me.
Yay!
Um,
I mean, not by much, but yay.
okay, yeah, but not by much. Yeah, I went 5-9.
Right as you said it, but not by much.
Yep. I went 5-9 in my picks. You went 6-8.
Six
However,
and eight.
I have to find it real quick.
Uh-oh. What'd you do?
Where did it go? I lost it. I will. Oh, I didn't lose it. I just misplaced it at the moment. I will find it, but my little Thor hammer was a perfect 3 and
Oh,
0.
the Thor hammer. If you guys don't know about
The Thor hammer,
The Thor hammer is his prediction where he says, without a doubt, this is gonna happen.
without a doubt, 100% guaranteed, and it is 3 and 0.
Yep.
There we go.
So we know the Thor hammer is absolute. It's absolute. That's what it is.
When this bad boy hits, it's absolute.
Yes. So, going with this game, like I said, Stafford 1833, 178 yards, 5 sacks. So, not a lot of.
I never answered your original question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my fault.
Yeah, I did say the Lions were gonna win. I don't want to talk about it.
No, it's all good. Like I said, I didn't even realize, but so Teddy Bridgewater is actually out with an injury, and I like totally spaced on that. PJ Walker was in for him today, which who? Yeah, old name from the draft class.
Okay.
Friggin' came in and 24-34, 258 yards. So only had 10 misses on his throws, which was not bad, but two of them were interceptions, so kind of rough. But he did have a touchdown thrown, so you know,
So
like
he only threw 8 incomplete passes.
technically 8 incomplete passes and then 2 passes to the other team. So,
2 to the other team.
so I mean, it could have been worse. He could have been Nathan Peterman. Let's just put it that way. Okay, that's gonna be our
Rude.
go-to. Is no matter what happens, you're not Nathan Peterman. That's the main thing to go with. So, and Stafford had
Rude.
5 sacks, which again shows like with the freaking whoever we were just talking about, not Joe Burrow, the one before that, who had 8 sacks on him. O line just wasn't there for him.
Matt Ryan, yeah.
Yep, Matt Ryan. Yeah, like and then the rushing game just shows it too. Adrian Peterson, 7 of 18. Kerryon Johnson, 6 of 17. Matthew Stafford, 4 for 5. 17 carries for 40 yards on the day. Longest is an 8-yard carry. Obviously, just not a lot of blocking going on in this game. Carolina coming out of the woodwork, just hungry. Mike Davis, 19 carries, 64 yards on 1 touchdown. Coming out again, ready to rumble. And DJ Moore had a random rush for 21 yards. Well done. And he threw the ball once, which didn't do anything. And he caught the ball 7 times, 127 yards, and the longest being a 52-yard bomb with no touchdowns. Curtis Samuel said, "Here, I'll take the touchdown though. 8 catches, 70 yards for 1 touchdown." And it looks like quite a few fumbles on the team, but they did recover one from the Detroit, and they didn't give up any fumbles. So technically, they did okay. Brian Burns had a good game defensively: 5 tackles, 2 solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and 4 quarterback hits. Definitely making Matt Stafford feel his presence. Well done. I hear it. Like last forever. Jumping Spider owner 31. Thank you for the follow. Sorry, I kind of switched it back to that real quick, but and it's right there anyway. I need to put that on here. I keep forgetting to do that, but I will soon. Thank you so much, Jumping Spider, for the follow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, back to this real quick. Um, yeah, I would say the Panthers pretty much defensively owned the Detroit Lions, even with Desmond Trufant and Amani. Oh my goodness, I can't say that name. With an interception, Amani Oruwari. God, I totally just messed. I butchered his name.
Harawari.
You know what? I'm gonna go with that. Okay, you can say it.
Harawari. It's
You,
got to be. Where's the pronunciation thing?
Where's the
They have one.
pronunciation thing?
Oh, they gotta.
Oh my!
That's. They should have that.
Like, I because unfortunately I'm sure that like it's like one of those things where we probably it's like the announcers when they see the name like Aurora with the interception. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go watch that clip
Oh
just to
God, I
see what
hope
he
I
said.
didn't.
I'm gonna have to go watch that YouTube just so I can see what they say his name is. All right, but yeah, so definitely a good defensive game for the Panthers, hands down. And oh boy, next up we have AFC division rivals for Chief here. Steelers destroyed the Jaguars 27-3. And the
Seems like
Jaguars
damn good.
Jaguars are on a 9-game losing streak, winning their first game and losing the next 9. And change of quarterback has shown it does not help at all, especially when you're playing the number one team in the NFL right now, as Jake Luton has seen 16-37, scared shitless, 151 yards, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So pretty close to Nathan Peterman right there. Just saying. So 15 rating. Yeah, definitely. Yikes. Uh, sorry, I don't. I feel bad. I feel bad because he gets put in a situation to play against the best team in the NFL, and there's not much you can do. You know?
He did what he could.
Yeah.
Did a hell of a lot more than that mullet would have done.
You don't know that.
No, I know
You
that.
give Minshew a chance.
Nah, I gave him.
5 chances.
I gave him one, two,
No.
three, four, five. I gave him 6 chances.
Oh, 6. Okay, I was wrong. 6 chances.
Let me down every time.
Well, Jake here didn't do any better though. Donuts and 4 years, but like I said, to be fair, it's only his like third week in starting, and it's against the best team in the NFL, and that number one defense it showed up. It showed up for sure.
Phenomenal.
James Robinson, only guy who rushed for the Jacksonville Jaguars, which for good reason. James Robinson, 17 carries, 73 yards. And Pittsburgh, James Conner said, "Hey, I got this. 13 carries, 89 yards." Benny Snell said, "Hey, you know what? Let me get the touchdown though. 7 carries, 15 yards for 1 touchdown." And Roethlisberger said, "Hey, I'll see what I can do. 32, 46, 267 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did get it picked off once though. So Jacksonville defender, one of them said, "You know what, guys? I'm still an NFL player," and
This is ridiculous.
decided to pick off Aaron Rodgers. Ha! Ben Roethlisberger. And we'll see who that is here shortly as we get down here. Deontay Johnson with the big game, 12 catches for 111 yards on 16 targets. Definitely a main guy here. Chase Claypool, Eric Ebron, Ray McLeod, and Juju Smith-Schuster all with 4 catches, 1 touchdown for Ebron and Claypool. Definitely a good game throwing for Mr. Roethlisberger. Definitely like Deontay Johnson in this one. And for Luton, obviously we already said what happened. I'm not even going to go through the receiving list. Well, I guess, okay, DJ Chark had 4 catches, 41 yards. That's about it. And also, on top of that,
Yep.
Luton fumbled the ball, which they got back, but still. Yeah, just not looking good. And the 4 interceptions were by 2 guys. Terrell Edmonds with 2 picks and Mika Fitzpatrick with 2 picks. Which, honestly, I will say once, I'll say it twice, I'll say 100 times. Times. Minka Fitzpatrick was a
Points.
Minka Fitzpatrick was a steal for the Steelers last year.
Oh,
What was it for a 6 round pick? They got him or something like that. 5th round,
it
sixth
was.
round pick. Steal for the Steelers. Go figure. And their team. Holy crap, dude! Like, I'm sorry, just ridiculous pick, like trade, like just they
Uh,
should be giving Miami like an extra $1 million just saying thank you, like for Christmas or something like that.
well, they okay. Well, they did send them their first and fifth and sixth. Oh wait, no. Um, They sent their oh yeah no they sent their first, fifth, and sixth draft pick in exchange for a fourth round, a seventh round, and Minka
Oh,
Fitzpatrick.
okay. So they
So
did send a first round pick.
so realistically, um, they basically traded a first round pick for Minka Fitzpatrick, which is still really fucking good. Try to make a first round draft pick trade for Minka Fitzpatrick in Madden. Won't happen.
No, no. The Steelers will definitely tell you to f off for that kind of trade.
Right? Anybody would tell you to fuck off for that kind of trade.
um, and just because I see it on the side here, man, Cowboys, I feel bad for them because they're just on top of everything else going with their team. Their strength and conditioning coordinator, Marcus Paul, was rushed to the hospital Tuesday morning and passed away. He's 54 years old. But man, the
Oh,
Cowboys.
did he actually pass away? I know originally the reports were
Yeah,
false
it's
that he
oh
passed away.
right now it says on ESPN that he passed away here on ESPN, but I don't know if that was I don't know if that's reported if that report is true or not then. But yeah, usually I just if I see it from ESPN, I usually assume it's real. But man, just rough year for the Cowboys right now. I feel bad because I I
All
re-
right, yeah, no, it is
like
it
watching them lose
is
is one thing.
official now.
Oh, it is okay. Yeah, watching them
Yeah,
lose is one
he passed
thing.
away this afternoon.
Ugh, poor guy. Because yeah,
T's and P's.
because like I said, just it's one thing like to lose games and stuff, and that's okay to be like, aha, Cowboys on that. But the fact that they've had guys injured the way they have been, they lose a guy like Marcus Paul, their strength and conditioning coordinator, to like his life is like he loses his life. Like it's that's just rough, man. That's just a rough year for them. Honestly, I do hope that they, yeah, they do whatever it's called. Uh,
The rally.
yeah, thank you. Um, just hard to see, hard to see. That's all. But yeah, anyway, with this game, like I said, only one that really stepped up, I think, for the Jaguars is their defense with Joe Schobert, which is their like best defender, I would say, arguably, with 13 total tackles, 8 solo. Chris Claybrooks also stepped up and doing what they can, but obviously, like I said, just rough game for the Jacksonville Jaguars against the best team in the NFL right now. Boy. Next up, we got. Oh boy, Chief, you want to take this one?
No,
Okay.
but I will.
Good.
Yeah, we had. I mean, I won't say it was a disappointing game from the Ravens. They fought Lamar Jackson, not necessarily doing what we want him to do as far as our receiving goes. Only 177 yards on the ground throwing. Not not the best, especially when you almost had 100 yards to our tight end. Granted, Mark Andrews, amazing tight end, but just sad to see as a Ravens fan. I mean, Derrick Henry's is fucking unstoppable. 133 yards by himself, more than we had rushing total. Just it was a sad day. I got to give it to the blah to the Titans though. They fought a hard game. Tannehill, 259 yards, two touchdowns, gave up an interception, but doesn't really matter when you got missed a run through a motherfucker's face and just we couldn't stop him. There's not much that I can say about it other than I'm not not disappointed in my team, but I'm disappointed in the loss. And there's obviously what we talked about earlier with Lamar playing in the style that he does. Needs to work on that a little bit, but I mean I think once they get that under control, we're back in it a little bit. I don't know if that's going to happen this season. Uh, but yeah, just not a whole lot of production, not what you like to see. But on the Titan side, you got Corey Davis going for 113 yards, no touchdowns, but AJ Brown coming through with that touchdown, as well as what's his name,
Jono. Jono.
June, Jonu
Like
Smith
Jonu or
with a
Jono, one of
touch.
the two.
Okay, with a touchdown. So they seem to have, Titans have their receiving game figured out as well as their running game. It's why they were such a big threat last year and kind of just came into it all of a sudden and knocked us off. This was a game that I'm not going to say worried about, but I was unsure about. And, chose the Ravens purely out of bias. And that's where I end up. Sad and alone in my room.
um, I will say though for the sorry, for the Titans though. I mean, because we talked about it before with Derrick Henry. Because for those few weeks, we kept seeing Derrick Henry 16 carries, Derrick Henry 19 carries, Derrick Henry 16, 18, stuff like that carries, and we've said, look, give him the ball, make him pound the rock.
Couple more times. Make
He
him
will.
pound the rock, make him wear down that defensive line.
He
And
has
that's
the
sure as
stamina.
fuck
Let
what he
him
did.
go. Let him go. Let him, as you said, run his favorite play.
Run through a motherfucker's face.
Even if he only gets 4 or 5 yards, he will run through a motherfucker's face.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, then that, and, yeah, it goes right back to what we were saying. You keep giving him the rock. Yeah, he only went 3 yards on that play, but he knocked three people over, and not only are they demoralized, they're tired. He's got a big arm. That probably hurts.
Yeah, they're getting up. They're trying to get ready for the next play, and they're not sitting there like everyone else and like being like, "Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready." No, they're like,
They line back up, and they just see Derrick Henry's big ass just fucking line back up again and look right at him and
and
go,
he's
"I'm
just
coming right for you again."
he has the mouthpiece and everything, so it just looks like this. And he's just got the death look, like I'm run to a motherfucker's face.
We got Bobby Boucher's, and he's just imagining them. What did you say about my mama? Nothing.
he's
She seems like
he's
a nice lady.
the offensive Bobby Boucher.
The offensive Bobby Boucher.
You don't say that about my team. My team is right through him. And Lamar, like you said, on the other side with the Ravens, yeah, 17 of 29 with the touchdown interception. It's not that he had a bad game. It's just that he ran the ball 13 times himself, just himself for 51 yards. And I'm just looking at those 13 times that he ran. I mean, he only had one long for 14, so everything else was like probably like a yard or two, probably just to escape the pressure. So he probably like instead of taking a sack, he was trying to just get a yard or two to get away from the defender. Which again, it's like yes, I understand that to a point, but you also gotta look like you are a quarterback, so try to look down. I know you like see the defender, and that's probably what he was doing. Is that he was watching the defender trying to figure out if he can get around him before going out of bounds instead of looking downfield to see who he could hit. And
On the plays that Lamar takes his time and actually looks for his receivers and they actually run their correct route and don't give up halfway through,
like Mark Andrews,
Lamar is a great quarterback.
like the Mark Andrews touchdown, I'm sure the 5 for 96 and everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, like Mark Andrews, you saw week one when Mark Andrews made a one-handed catch in
Mm-hmm.
the end zone and dropped. Like, Mark Andrews is there to play some fucking ball, and like I honestly feel bad for Mark Andrews. It seems
Yeah,
like he's one of the few people on the team that's actually like giving it their 100% and like actually trying. Saying that like Patrick Queen, 9 tackles on the day.
yeah,
Like
number one.
Patrick Queen's putting in the fucking work. Like,
Yep,
yeah, number one on the team. I mean,
a lot of group tackles,
even on
but
the other side, Titans too. Like one player, Rashawn Evans, had 9 tackles on the day
mm-hmm.
as well. So like he's up there, but you ain't seeing a whole lot else come through. I mean, thank God that we have Justin Tucker and he can put up 10 points for us. But goddamn,
Especially the fact that you had to rely on your kicker to put up 10 points. So I mean, like, well, meaning that he had to kick 3 total field goals. When same with Stav Goskowski, who actually was
what are we? The
perfect.
Colts?
Colt, you still there?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, I was like, I was about to check my stream, and be like, did we lose him? Is he gone?
Oh nope.
But yeah, Goskowski was perfect for the day, and which is surprising because he's been like, let's just look at the numbers because it's just one of those things with Goskowski. It's like for us and everyone else, they always wonder how is he still a quarterback, a kicker? Because this year he has 71 points, which is tied for 20th, but his percentage is 65%, which is dead last in the NFL. So it's like you see that and you're like wondering how are you still kicker, you know? And so
Well, it's because it's most. I mean, not mostly. He's this season is shit for him, but like throughout his career, I mean,
he was a
he's.
Patriots kicker. He was the second Vinatieri. Like Vinatieri left and in came
Yeah,
Goskowski, and he
I
was
mean, look.
clutch there. Yeah.
I mean, looking at his stats, I mean, he's 389 for 400 out of 451 attempts in his career.
So literally, like before this year, he had a lot better record, but because of this year, his percentage probably has been really bad. And
Yeah, I mean, and even on
how old
extra
is
point
he?
attempts.
How old is he now?
Uh, he is. Uh, it's not showing,
Let's see.
but
Well,
he's
how many
been
years ago?
kicking.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. He's 36.
So yeah, I mean, if
So,
I'm looking at this year as Goskowski, like I know, like you have people like Vinatieri and punters and kickers usually last longer than most positions do because of the like Morton Anderson lasted until he was like what 45, 44 or something like that kicking.
yeah, I believe so.
I mean, because you don't get hit much. But still, I'm looking or Vinatieri still or not Vinatieri. Well Vinatieri, yeah, but Janikowski is what I was thinking of. He also lasted quite a while.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm looking at this year for Goskowski. Like, yeah, I'm 36. Yeah, I'm still a kicker. But I'm also looking at my percentage, going, do I even want to still kick this year, or do I even want to still kick throughout my like? Do I still want to keep going? Because honestly, like I said, the fact that you're going 65% this year compared to your other years, where I'm sure if I looked it up, it would be, like I said, it would probably show that he's had like amazing years besides of this year, and so it's like I would see this year as kind of like a, like almost like who is it? Almost like Brett Favre, like Brett Favre tried to come back and he went to the Jets and the Vikings, and honestly didn't have that great of years. But then he was like, you know what, I'm done. Like, yeah, that's it for me.
Yep, that's it. That's over. I
Yeah,
tried.
yeah. I mean, he tried multiple times to come back actually, but yeah, like I said, I'm just looking at it like I don't want to say that he should give up. I'm just saying like, dude, like it's been a rough year. Like, what do you want to do? You know. But anyway, to this, like I said, the Ravens and Titans. Yeah, I mean, right. I would say that J.K. Dobbins definitely proved himself. I would say he's definitely shown he's a good running back, and I would say Lamar needs to really figure out his position. Like, I'm not saying that he's
Absolutely.
like I think that he can still be he can still do what he needs to, but he needs to know that he still needs to be a quarterback too. Like he's too worried about the fact that he did like what he did last year, like the whole first quarterback to do 1,000 passing yards and or however many passing yards, how many rushing yards. And I feel like he's trying to really build on that. And it's like, look, dude, you had a good year last year to a point, but look, man, you're gonna like you have good receivers on you. You got a great like one of the best tight ends in the NFL right now, Mark Andrews. You got really decent receivers though. You still have like Marquise Brown can become a good receiver. Willie Snead can still come in the clutch when he needs to, and you have running backs who like are young and ready to run too, so you don't have to run as much. You still can run, but like use the fact that you have these guys who can
Yeah.
you can like because otherwise like right now all these guys
He
I'm looking
needs
at
he needs that Bruce Arians style mentality.
right
Like we have wide receivers to catch balls.
yeah like
We
Bruce
have
Arians like
running backs
Gronkowski
to run the ball. You
yeah
are a quarterback. Throw the goddamn ball.
yeah. And for those of you who don't know what he means by that, he means that Bruce Arians was asked in the beginning of the year, how he feels about Gronkowski and how like how he hasn't been really like catching the ball or hasn't been really thrown to in the last few games. Like it was like week 4 or something like that. And Arians said, and we quote, "Well, he's a lineman first of all, so that's what he's going to be doing is blocking first." So basically, that was Arians' thought process is that instead of it being like Belichick, where okay, a tight end's a receiver, so we're going to do these schemes. His scheme was, well, a tight end's a lineman, so we're going to use him as an extra lineman to block for Brady, and use our receivers that we have because that's what they're there for is receiving, not my tight end. So that's basically what he's saying about Lamar is Lamar, you're a quarterback, be a quarterback, not a running back.
No, throw the damn ball.
And he can throw
Just a
the
little
ball.
more,
He can
please.
throw the ball. I mean, look at even Michael Vick. Like the reason why he Lamar did so well or did so much more than we ever heard about Vick is because Vick still threw the ball. He had a cannon for an arm back in the day, and he did really well with
Oh
it.
yeah.
But if you remember, Vick never won championships. Why is that? Because they knew how to stop his run, and then he would, and then like after that, he would just try to keep running the ball, and then he got caught up. Lamar needs to know that you can still run the ball, but you need to really use your team. Like your team's there for you.
Yeah. You need to rely on other people a little bit more.
Exactly. And last thing I'll say is shout out to Amani Hooker from the Titans and Tyus Bowser for the interceptions as well. These pretty decent picks for both of them.
Oh yeah.
All right. And moving on from that, we got a surprising win, which actually I wanted to ask you about this game or about this.
Was
Broncos beat the Dolphins.
Yeah, I was a little sad.
Sad. And yeah, because I mean, like I'm looking at it like this. Like, so here's Tua, Tagovailoa, and honestly, I'm surprised actually. So Drew Lock, let's look at this side first. 18 30, 270 yards, no touchdowns, interception. So he got the ball downfield, but again, like Baker Mayfield wasn't getting the ball in the end zone like he should be. Then you look at the other side, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Tua Tagovailoa. Tua actually had a not so bad game. He had 11 for 20. Okay, I say not so bad, but he had like so that's like 50 5% completion, 83 yards, so not a whole lot of yards being thrown. But he did get a touchdown. Whereas Ryan Fitzpatrick came in 12 for 18, 117 yards with an interception. So even though so Tua did get 6 sacks on him though, whereas Ryan Fitzpatrick did not, but he threw a pick. And they've already named Fitzpatrick as a quarterback for this coming week, starting quarterback. Um,
Yes.
any updates on that, or do you have any like I guess insight on that there? I know you've been like watching this as well as I have, or probably more than I have for the Dolphins with Tua and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I mean, I feel like I feel like that situation was more or less just the offensive line and Tua weren't working together as well as they needed to, and it wasn't necessarily a fault to either side. More is just, one was saying A and the other was hearing B. And I mean, that's like you see, he was sacked 6 times. I think that was purely oh, I think that was purely a safety thing uh, rather than, oh, I don't think he's playing the best. I mean, I didn't watch the post interview. But they just said based on how the game was going at the point in time, they felt it best to pull Tua and let Fitzpatrick do his thing. And, Tua just had a bad game. The coach recognized it, pulled him. We'll try again next week. But even Fitzpatrick said this is still Tua's team. Sometimes you just have bad weeks and going from there. So I'm hoping this was just a little hiccup. Maybe he slept on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe, just slept on his shoulder a little weird that night and something wasn't really feeling right. And, he'll be back next week ready to go. But I mean, yeah, like you said, not a bad game from Tua, just wasn't the game they wanted. So they put in Fitzpatrick. I mean, especially when you have Fitzpatrick as a backup and you're not winning, why not?
Well, yeah, exactly, and I agree with that because especially looking at some of these other teams right now who lost their quarterbacks, i.e., Dallas, i.e., Bengals, etc., whose backup is like, who? Or, huh? Or, uh oh. You know, you need a good backup.
Yes.
Like, I mean, that's why, like, and it sucks because backups aren't really, you know, nobody really cares for the backups or really wants the backup. Like Matt Flynn for the Packers back in the day, like for Rodgers for many years before obviously traveling the NFL and going back to be a backup. I mean, or Josh McCown, the traveling backup. You know, I mean, it's funny because McCown's been in the NFL. I mean, he's still to consider in the
He is still a backup quarterback being paid $1 million to sit at home.
like legitimately. And he's 40 some years old, and I'm like, shoot, like I'm sitting at home too. You want to pay me to sit here? I mean, come on. Like just a
All
thousand.
right.
All he needs 1,000 a month though. That's it. Oh, please,
Yeah,
please.
I
No,
will come up. I will throw balls. I will sit through every meeting.
exactly. Like just put me on that Zoom conference call. I'm here. I might be in my underwear eating some cereal, but I'll still be here.
Put me in, coach.
But and that's the thing though, is like it's because they understand how important that position can be. And like Nick Foles won as a backup quarterback in Philadelphia. And yeah, sorry, I was just gonna say rip Nick Foles in his injury as well. But yeah, basically, I would just say that. So you think that was sorry, back to what we were gonna say with the Dolphins. So it looks like the O lines. So is it like you think that Fitzpatrick is still like the O line still think it's Fitzpatrick's team, or they're just still not like how like
I see. I'm kind of just. I think it's too early to tell. Really, is I think I'm kind of just chalking this one up to they just got outplayed. Wasn't necessarily a fault on either side. Wasn't anybody conspiring against anybody else. Just maybe they got a little too comfortable. Like I said, maybe someone slept on their shoulder weird. I think it was just a weird game. They weren't as prepared as they should have been. I mean, because nothing is really standing out to me as no, I mean, just other than the 6 sacks, like
yeah
nothing is really standing out to me like the Dolphins are playing a bad game. I mean,
yeah. I mean
I mean
Malik Reed.
64 total tackles.
Yeah
I mean, only 5 of them for a loss, but I mean,
yeah
yeah, it just the offensive line just wasn't holding as well as they should have been.
yeah. Deshaun Williams with three total tackles with two sacks. Malik Reed six total tackles with 1.5 sacks. Bradley Chubb, Draymond Jones, and Demarcus Walker with Malik Reed like together for a sack. Pretty much just always after uh, pretty much to attack of Viola, which it's a rookie thing. It's gonna happen to him. Same thing happened. Like I said, we saw the same thing happen with Joe Burrow when he had been sacked 8 times that one week. And someone else that we saw this week, Matt Ryan, 8 sacks in one week. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's just I think that this year they really just need to let Ryan Fitzpatrick finish this year out. Let him do what he does with the team. See what happens. If you make it to playoffs, you make it through the playoffs, whatever happens. Let Ryan Fitzpatrick finish this season and decide what you want to do in the offseason. Either start Tua or start Ryan, or but don't like mid-season. I think was the worst time to do that, and I think they realized that as well because they've been practicing with one guy all year, and then you're gonna switch the quarterback on them real quick, and all of a sudden they don't like they're still trying to figure out because they're two different style quarterbacks, like completely different. Ryan's the pocket,
100%.
and Tua is more like Kyler Murray and Lamar. So
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
scrambles.
you gotta have that you gotta have that time in the preseason, spring training, etc. to get used to that shit. And yeah, I think that definitely threw them off a little bit. And yeah, excuse me. And definitely the running game for Denver, I think, was the main focal point. Melvin Gordon and Phil Lindsay both with 15 and 16 carries, 84, 82 yards, pretty much on point with each other, and 2 touchdowns for Melvin Gordon. He did lose a fumble to the Miami Dolphins, but it didn't matter. They still ended up winning 20-13. Excuse me. Which Drew Lock, that's another one. I'm hoping steps up a little bit more. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, definitely Denver's a little scared right now. They got a lot of injuries they're trying to get through this year, and hopefully next year they'll come back stronger than ever. Von Miller, obviously out for the year. A lot of higher plays. Cortland Sutton, a lot of big names out for the Broncos they're trying to get through. Next we have the Chargers and Jets, which I mean Jets lost, but it actually was a close game. Jets actually I think scored the most points they've ever had in a year this year, or like I think they've actually had 31, so I think it's like the second most. They had 28 points to 34. The Chargers beat them though, and you liked Justin Herbert in this one, didn't you?
I did. I am very impressed with him. 3 touchdowns, throwing 366 yards, sacked a couple of times, but I mean, still produced, still got the ball down the field. Throwing to Keenan Allen 16 times for 145 yards and a touchdown. Mike Williams for 4 receptions, targeted 7 times, but still 72 yards and a touchdown on there. Hunter Henry got a couple big ones too. 4 receptions for 48 yards and a touchdown. He was just finding everyone and connecting with them.
Mm-hmm. No, and I agree. And Keenan Allen, big game for Keenan Allen
Big day.
and Justin Herbert. Surprisingly, getting 16 catches on 19 targets because you'd think how many targets that he was throwing at Keenan that someone would have been like, defensive coordinator, secondary coach, whoever would have been like double coverage, 13, 13, something like cover Keenan, cover Keenan, but no. I mean, like whatever though, that happened, it happened. And you look on
I
the other.
mean, it.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say, I think it wasn't necessarily so. Well, no, Keenan Allen had a big day, like not taking away from that at all. But it wasn't just Keenan Allen. Mike Williams, 4 receptions on 7 targets. Tyron Johnson, 1 reception on 1 target. Hunter Henry, 4 on 7.
Right. Right.
Then you got 7 receptions on 9, 2 and 2, 1 and 1, 2 and 2. He was he was accurate as hell.
Yeah. True. If anything, it just goes to show that. It also probably goes to show that Keenan um, probably was beating his coverage. Honestly, like because Keenan Allen
Oh,
is a great
absolutely.
receiver, so he probably like the fact that Herbert would look his way first because he's number one receiver. So that's the main thing that he looked his way first every time. And most of the time, it's showing that Allen pretty much beat his coverage. And I mean, unfortunately, with the Jets defense and the Jets team the way it is that we've talked about, as you say,
Jets suck.
yeah, uh, pretty much the defense had no way of stopping them. So unfortunately, that's pretty much what happened. And Joe Flacco did what he could: 15 to 30, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So I mean, not the best game, but you know, he did something, did a little bit something. Frank Gore tried a little something too. 15 carries, 61 yards for a touchdown. Lamichael Perrine, 8 carries, 33 yards for a touchdown. Less than 100 yards, but 2 touchdowns for the running game, which is not bad. Whereas the rushing on defense, somehow, oh my gosh, I don't know who this Ty Long guy is, but how the hell did he get 1 rush for negative 28 yards? Is there a fumble? Because holy cow,
Uh, yeah, I don't.
that's a hell of a negative run. Not gonna lie. Now their rushing total was 26 carries for 29 yards on the game, which is I think the Jets' best defensive stop all year. Just saying.
It was the punter.
Okay. So they probably threw it over his head, or so.
Yeah,
Keenan,
either threw it over his head or yeah. Uh,
but
it's not showing it.
and then Keenan Allen actually lost a fumble too, in this game too, and still the Jets couldn't capitalize on that, or maybe they did. I don't know. I just know that the it was a close game in the end. Jets lost only by 6 points, and defensively, the Jets, like I said, had 3 guys with 10 plus total tackles: Ashton Davis, Neville Hewitt, Harvey Lange. Uh, Decent game for Davis and Hewitt, who each had a tackle for loss. and 85 total tackles for the Jets. So that just shows, honestly, also because the Chargers only had 49 total tackles. So it just goes to show how much the defense was on the field because that's actually ridiculous. The Jets had 85 total
Yeah,
tackles
that's crazy.
compared to 49.
Wow.
Like, and the fact that that was this close of a game, even with that, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still Jets, as you say,
Suck.
but they still, did what they could on defense. Yeah, time of possession for the Jets, 23 minutes. Time of possession for the Chargers, 36 minutes. So, not as big as a difference I thought, but still enough that it made a factor.
Got more done.
Yeah. Well, we'll see though. Maybe it'll be a donut season for the Jets, or maybe we'll see a maple bar. We shall see. We shall see. Dun dun dun
Sure.
dun. Will Trevor Lawrence go to New York Jets? Will he stay in college? We will see. Maybe Justin Fields goes to the Jets. Oh no. Okay, and next up we have the Packers and Colts. Steelers still undefeated.
you
How crazy is that?
you missed the
Honestly, with them
you
playing the
missed the Patriots
Jaguars,
game.
yeah, with the what?
We skipped the Patriots game.
Oh, I did. Why is that down? Why is that right there? Okay, I don't know why that my list is like that. Haha, just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, for some reason. Oh, okay, I see what I did. I went from the Ravens and somehow scrolled past and went to the Dolphins. Whoops. Patriots and Texans.
Happens.
Yeah, somehow freaking computer glitched on me. All right, so we're on the Patriots and Texans, and the Texans said, "Hey, we want to beat the Patriots," and the Patriots said, "Hey, okay." although, although I will say, Cam Newton, I will applaud him because today, like we've been saying about Lamar, he played or today, today's Wednesday. Ha. Okay, going back. Sunday, he played like a quarterback should. 26 of 40, 365 yards, one touchdown. He actually had a decent game with only 2 sacks, and he only ran the ball 3 times. So I mean, kudos to. I mean, I'm not even gonna falter. I mean, I think that's great. That's great for him because I mean he needed that in order to he needs that in order to show he's a quarterback for the future for the Patriots. I know they lost the game. They
Absolutely.
lost the game, but still, that
No,
those are good numbers.
that was, and I watched that game. That was a very close game. That I mean, the Patriots fought at the end. They just couldn't produce it at the end. So, I mean, the Texans were fighting it hard.
And yes, you can't run. Yeah, the Steelers game went from tomorrow Thursday to Sunday against the Ravens. In which we will, yeah, we'll get to that too because Chief up here obviously is paying attention to that game because that's a big game for his Ravens right now.
Big game.
So yeah, but definitely, yeah, they postponed it from Thursday to Friday due to COVID and stuff. So, um, but yeah, so Deshaun Watson, Cam Newton, definitely a battle. Deshaun Watson had the extra touchdown though, 28, 37, 344 yards for 2 touchdowns. And rushing wise, Deshaun had the most rushing yards, 6 of 36 for a touchdown. Duke Johnson, 10 of 15. CJ Procise, 3 of 4. So just not much running there. And same on New England, 11:43 for Damian Harris for a touchdown. And Rex Burkhead, 4 for 7, also injured, out for the season for Burkhead, unfortunately. Not a good sign for the Patriots, unfortunately.
No, not at all.
And
But hey, Cam's actually doing what Lamar's, should be doing and throwing the ball.
yep, yep. And he likes this guy. I can't even say his name. Demier Bird, 6 catches, 132 yards for on 7 targets for a touchdown. James White stepped up as a running back, 6 for 64 as a receiver though, 6 for 64 for on 9 targets. So definitely stepping up though for that. Justin Reed had a good game, 9 total tackles, 7 solo, 1 sack for 3 tackles for loss. So he was definitely in the backfield getting shit done and 2 quarterback hits.
Yeah.
Definitely well done there. And yeah, this game just came right down to the wire, and I would say that honestly, the extra passing touchdown honestly won the game for them. Uh, it's just yeah, because yeah, this is just came down to the wire, and I would say like unfortunately, The defense stepped up, stopped the Patriots, and the extra passing touchdown won it.
Yeah, overall, very close game, but you know, Texans might have just wanted it a little bit more, and I'm not sure why.
Just for hey, for the just for pride, I mean, it's the Patriots. I know that it's only Cam Newton. It's not Tom Brady. Well, I say that like it's nothing, but it's the Patriots. So I mean, it's like how you feel when the Ravens beat them. You're like fucking right, because you
Yeah, true. Even when it's nobody, it's like, yes.
yeah, and then everyone Foxborough, you're just lucky that Tommy Brady isn't back here.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm just kidding. But now, after that game, Iverson and Wick, cover your ears because I know you're Packer fans. We got the Packers and Colts game, which came down to the wire, 31-34. Great, great effing game. Both Rogers and Rivers pretty much spit in images of each other, legitimately. 27-38 for Rogers, 24-36 for Rivers. 311 yards for Rogers, 288 for Rivers. Both had 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, and the rating was off by like 3 for each. Like they're literally on like together. Like only thing is that Rogers threw the ball
Very
two
damn
more
close.
times. That's it, pretty much. And rushing wise, though, different story. Green Bay's rushing was led by Aaron Jones for 40 yards a carry, 10 for 41 for a touchdown, and then Rogers and Williams, and so it was only 66 yards. Colts had Jonathan Taylor step up as a rookie, 22 carries, 90 yards. No touchdowns for the rushing game, but you know what? Still did what he could to move the ball downfield, which is not bad. That's more of they can still get touchdowns here and there, but honestly, he did his part by getting them downfield. And, uh, Rivers stepped up and threw the ball where he needed to into the end zone. Um, and as far as for receiving wise, of course, Devontae Adams, 7 catches, a touchdown for 9 targets. And Robert Tunyon stepped up, 5 catches, 44 yards for a touchdown. Definitely showing that he's the main guy for the as a tight end there. Looks like Mercedes Lewis better watch out. Might lose his job soon. And on the other side, Michael Pittman, rookie, stepping up really, really well for the Colts lately. 3 catches, 66 yards for a touchdown. And Trey Burton, the other tight end, also stepping up. 2 catches, 25 yards for a touchdown as well.
Yeah.
Fumble wise, the Packers really, really, this is what gave up the game for them, as we've talked about with Iverson and Wick as well. You had Darnell Savage recover a fumble on defense, which is great. But then you had Rodgers, Marquez Valdez Scantling, and Darius Shepard all fumbled the ball, giving it up to the Colts 3 times. Davon Wilson, DeForest Buckner, and Darius
Some
Leonard
big
all.
turnovers.
Yep, 3 total fumbles right there. So 4 total fumbles, 1 interception, 3 fumbles. Definitely, I think, led the way for the loss for them, unfortunately. Indianapolis Colts had Kenny Moore step up as a safety, 10 total tackles, all solo. Definitely a great game for him. Let's see, scroll down here. Wait, how many sacks do they have? One each, yeah, so that's not bad. And then coming down here,
Yeah.
interception wise, Christian Kirksey, Rocky Sin. Yeah, pretty much like I said, everything else is on par. Except for the Colts kicker, who had a great game.
Absolutely killed it. Rodrigo Blankenship, the homie.
4 for 5.
He's not an actual homie.
he's
Just
he's an actual homie. No, yeah. Don't let
he's
him
good for
fool
the brand. Good for the brand. Yeah, no, going 4 for 5. 80%, but he hit a 43-yarder, 2 for 2 on extra points, scoring a total of 14 points up for the team, getting that clutch at the end for the win. And Iverson, Wick, I'm sorry, but you got to give credit where credit is due.
Yep. And honestly, like I said, the Colts and the Packers, great game, great game. They went all the way into overtime. Just just the hands are looks like they're gonna have a lot of practicing with they had a lot of practice this week with their hands team and with their hands in general.
Yeah,
I should say hands team. Their hands in general. So yeah, definitely hold the ball, cover the ball. Yeah. Hey, better this happen
That's
now than
fair.
the playoffs. That's all I'm gonna say though.
Yes.
This way they can learn that now, not in the playoffs. Cowboys, surprising to everybody too, stepping up and beating the Vikings this week, 31-28. Big day for the Cowgirls. I mean Cowboys. Just kidding, guys. Don't worry, it's the Cowgirls versus the Vi Queens. You know all that good stuff. Ha ha ha. Anyway,
Oh, that's perfect.
it works perfectly. So, like I said, can't even think right now. Freaking Andy Dalton actually had a decent game.
Andy Dalton going for 203 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. But hey, three to one odds ain't bad.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like especially after the way he was playing that game when he got injured, and the way he was playing the game before that, I was honestly expecting it to be a okay one and done season for the Red former Red Rocket. Because honestly, yeah, he was
Oh yeah,
not looking good before, but now he stepped up and was like, hey, no, that's I think of that little headshot he got in the previous game really knocked some sense into him. I think that's what happened.
like shit. I gotta play real football.
Yeah, he like knocked him, and then he woke up going, "Whoa, I've been gone for a few years. What happened? Last time I was doing really well, and now all of a sudden I'm in Dallas. What happened?"
Oh,
But on the other side, Kirk
yeah.
Cousins looks like his brother, his better brother, I should say, Burke showed up. Went 22 of 30,
hmm
314 yards for 3 touchdowns. Usually we see the other one, which is Kirk, and he goes, 0 for 3 usually. I'm just saying, kind of goes back and forth a little bit too
Yeah.
much. Like, it's one of those things. Again, like I'm asking you because, you know, as we see these seasons come about and stuff, and we see guys like that very inconsistent. 1 minute, oh, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's the quarterback of our future. Next week, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, missing every target. Get him out of there. For Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins, overall, what do you think? Do the Vikings rely on him again?
I mean, he's done enough for them, but yeah, I kind of think you're in a. I mean, unlike Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers situation, I think that's the kind of situation that you're in. Is like, yeah, we have an okay quarterback, but you know, he was doing this for a while, and then kind of started to level out. And now he's doing one of these,
No,
and
they went
every
back.
time it seems to him be doing up, coming back up, and then we're going back down.
Mm-hmm.
Might be time to get yourself, it might be time to get yourself a Jordan Love in there,
Yeah, just
and
at least draft a quarterback. Put a little fire under his ass. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because
I
that's
mean,
what.
maybe not in the first round, but
But like, even not the first round, sure. But like, I mean, in one of the like second or third rounds, I would say, look at like, I like this guy. Like, he's a good quarterback, and just draft him
yeah.
because Kirk Cousins will be watching and be like, wait, what the fuck? And then it's time to, like I said, light that fire under his ass, and make him work. You know, he shows
Look
that
at Aaron Rodgers.
he shows he can be a quarterback, just like Baker Mayfield. He shows he can be a quarterback. Make him work for it. Shit. Like I mean, this guy, like he's so inconsistent. Like, look, I'm looking at stats right now. Right now, his yards 24-61. He's 16th in the league, so bottom half. 20 touchdowns, tied for ninth. So type 10, okay. But he's 11 interceptions, tied for 31st, which is you know he only Wentz and somebody else and is ahead of him, and then he's tied with somebody for the third worst in interceptions. And quarterback rating is 65.7, which is again 19th, which is bottom tier. So it's like, dude, yeah, you're getting the touchdowns on certain games, but in other games you're throwing all these picks. Like I said, that's where I said like his brother Burke showed up today and actually he's put in work, and then Burke's gonna go on vacation to Hawaii, so Kirk's gonna come in next week and throw a bunch of fucking picks.
Yep.
Like you can't be doing that. You can't be inconsistent like that shit. Anyway, moving on from that. Uh, Zeke actually looked like Zeke of old today. Or I keep doing that. Looked like Zeke of old this last Sunday. Ezekiel Elliott, 21 carries, 103 yards. Holy shit, Zeke, where you been? We've been missing you all year, buddy.
Yeah, this is the Zeke we've been needed.
Yeah. Tony Pollard had a great game. 5 carries, 60 yards for a touchdown. 42 long run. Very well done by Tony Pollard. And on the other side, Dalvin Cook, playing like Dalvin Cook, 27 carries, 115 yards for a touchdown. Just running it up. And then you have Adam Thielen looking like a just monster out there. Adam 8 catches, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson playing just amazing rookie ball. 3 catches, 86 yards, one
Amazing.
one touchdown. Possible O'Roy of the season. It's going to be an interesting one to watch, but like especially for the NFC. I mean, AFC, I'm already expecting it to be. It was Joe Burrows. Now I'm expecting it to be Justin Herbert. NFC wise, I'm excited to see who's going to win it. I think Justin Jefferson has a
Yeah.
chance. On the other side, Amari Cooper, 6 catches, 81 yards, definitely stepping up. And Dalton Schultz with a touchdown, 4 catches, 25 yards as well. Oh, and Ezekiel Elliott got his touchdown as catching one as well. Minnesota definitely lost 2 fumbles, which definitely hurt their chances to win. And yeah, pretty much this was just a neck and neck game. Everything was close and like numbers. Just I would say
Very close.
probably the fumbles, and uh, probably Kirk Cousins. Honestly, lack of Burke, more Burke, no less Kirk. It really helped them win. Step up in this one. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
and of course, like I said, as a running back, give him the rock. Alvin Cook shows it. Derrick Henry shows it. Give
Every time.
them the rock. Yes. Next up, we have a very close AFC West showdown. Chiefs, Raiders. Raiders
That was the
looked
close
really
one.
good in this, actually. I thought they were going to win.
I thought the Raiders were gonna lose, or yeah, I thought the Raiders were gonna win as well. Like, and I thought that was gonna be funny. You know, regardless of how the Raiders did this season. Yeah, the reigning Super Bowl champs. Yeah, their only 2 losses were to us this year.
Yep. But Chiefs said, no, no, no. No, no, no.
Yeah, not this time.
Not this time, buddy. And freaking here
Oh,
comes,
you want to do a fucking victory lap?
which honestly sucks
Yeah.
because I have Edwards Hilaire on my team too as a running back. I benched him this week because I was like, oh crap, he's going against the Raiders. I don't see him doing much. 14 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great. Love it.
Damn.
Le'Veon Bell also stepped up, got his first touchdown. I think his first touchdown was the Chiefs. Maybe not. But he got a touchdown with the Chiefs, 725 for a touchdown. And Patty Mahomes had an interception, surprisingly, but otherwise 34-45, 248 yards, 2 touchdowns. On the other side, Derek Carr, 23-31, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. So great overall quarterback. Each one had an interception, but for the most part, just a great job for both, just stepping up and you know pretty much not making too many errors. I know you're doing your thing. Josh Jacobs, 17 carries, 55 yards for touchdowns, and yeah, just not much of a rushing game or rushing game for the Raiders. For the Chiefs, 3 total touchdowns, which helped them secure that win. I think that's going to be their main vocal point for how they won, was getting downfield from Mahomes passing and pounding the rock into the end zone against that D line against the Raiders. As far as for catching goes, Tyreek Hill had a phenomenal game. 11 catches, 102 yards for a touchdown. Travis Kelsey, 8 catches, 127 yards for a touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, Darren Waller on the other side had a great one. 6 catches for Aguilar, 7 for Waller, 88 yards each, and a touchdown for each. No fumbles for either side. Well done with the hands. And
Beautiful hands.
no sacks at all for either defense. Well done on the line, O line for each side. Now for interceptions, Daniel Sorensen, Kansas City, Trayvon Mullen for Vegas, both looking good. And otherwise, like I said, everything looks pretty much neck and neck all down the line. Only thing that's different is that Raiders had to kick one field goal, whereas the Chiefs pretty much only had to pretty much scored the touchdown, and the Chiefs kicked the or Chiefs kicked the field. Oh my god, Chiefs scored a touchdown. Raiders kicked the field goal. Sorry,
There you go.
neck and neck, except for that one drive each. So pretty rough to see that, but great, great game, great football to watch.
Yeah, all in all,
Yo, off
absolutely great
topic,
game.
Queen or the Beatles? Wow. First, you come in asking about fantasy football all these times, Carol. First off, hello. Nice to see ya. But secondly, you come and ask about fantasy football all these weeks, and then today you're like, by the way, who do you like better in rock, Queen or the Beatles? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
legitimate question.
it is a great question. I would say the Beatles. I'm not choosing the Beatles. I'm saying the Beatles started everything that the Queen became, but I think that I think that Beatles definitely are obviously the group that led to a lot of what we hear today, a lot of amazing things today. But the Queen, I mean, Freddie Mercury is a freaking god. I'm sorry, he's amazing, and
He is.
I unfortunately passed away too early in his life. But definitely, definitely, I would have to say I enjoy Queen songs a lot more, even though I hear them like every freaking day. Uh, I don't think. Yeah, keep tab. I don't have anything tonight, so I might call it early one jet. Okay, no worries there, Wick. I understand, man. But yeah. So I would say I still love the Beatles. Don't get me wrong, the Beatles are awesome. Like I saw this movie yesterday or whatever. Amazing movie. Definitely recommend it. Um, and then, but I still Queen though. Like I said, Freddie Mercury is just like awesome.
He's got.
Just I love the great music. Yeah. So moving on from that. All right, have a great one there, Wick. Thank you for stopping by, bro, and get some sleep, man. Get some sleep. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.
It
Happy
was
Thanksgiving,
Wick.
man.
Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Oh, son of a. Bleh. Um.
Good.
Okay, so yeah, we were talking about Chiefs Raiders, right? Yeah. Okay, now on top.
Yes.
Pick for Carol. God. Okay, I'm gonna let you pick. Go ahead, there. I'm gonna let Chief pick because I picked last time. Chief's the man.
I got a pick. Um, but as far as performance, all right.
Fantasy
Pick
football.
four, McLaren.
So I'm pretty sure you're just gonna get rid of
Uh,
like a couple of them, possibly, or I don't know how it's gonna work. But yeah, pick four.
keep Claypool for sure. Um, the JJ Watt, I'm
Uh,
assuming.
I think that's Julio Jones, maybe.
Yeah, be specific on who JJ is.
Probably Julio
Might
Jones.
be Julio Jones.
But I think so. Which the way he's been playing this year, I'd get rid of him. Justin Jefferson. Oh,
Oh, Justin Jefferson. Oh,
duh.
keep Justin Jefferson.
I
Yeah,
even knew
keep
that. I
Justin
even knew
Jefferson.
that. He asked me about him last week. God, sorry. I'm here, but I'm not
Yeah,
here.
so Claypool and JJ for sure.
That's two.
Um, hmm.
I would say keep AJ Brown because Tennessee and Tannehill likes him a lot.
Yes. I think he could potentially have a hot week.
Oh, these two sons of get off my stream, you piece. Oh yes, Chief. Ah, oh yeah, yeah. With the
I only
ban.
timed him out for
With
a second.
oh, I was gonna say banhammer.
I only banned one.
Ban both.
Um, where is it? Where is it? There he is.
Okay, go. Urava. Did you ban the Matthew guy?
Not yet.
I know, dude. Wait.
Getting there.
dude, wait, there was one time I actually got hit with like, there it is. I got hit with like seven of them, dude. It was like bing, 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 bing. I was like, y'all suck. Get out of here. And I had to sit there and go click, 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 click to ban them. Anyway, so there's three. Sorry, we had to lose your freaking list, but I'm saying keep. I would say keep AJ Brown and then uh
JJ Claypool.
uh I was gonna say because I
I'd
think
go. I'd go
okay.
Higgins too.
You keep T Higgins.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say I was gonna say McLaurin or Ayuk maybe, but yeah, McLaurin probably not. Your connection cut off. Okay, so we said Claypool, um, uh, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, and then probably not McLaurin because of the quarterback situation. I would say not Antonio Brown either. D Higgins would. I don't.
Yeah. No.
D Higgins with who again? Cincinnati or Cleveland?
Um.
In Cleveland. And I
In
don't.
Cleveland.
I wouldn't pick him just because of Baker, but crap. That leaves McLaurin though, doesn't it? Oh, Ayuk. I would say Cincinnati. Yeah, I wouldn't pick Higgins then just because Finley's the quarterback there and he's not doing much. Honestly, uh, otherwise I would pick Higgins with Joe Burrow, but um, I would so you could take. Sorry, Chief. I know. I would say Chief has the right idea with those three right there. Last one, just because we're like, I would say McLaurin or Ayuk, which I'm leaning more towards. I don't know. Actually, that's a tough one. McLaurin or Ayuk though. And while we're getting, while we're waiting for his reply on that, you want to go ahead and. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. But we are on the last game of the week that we're talking about: Rams Buccaneers. Tommy Brady.
Oh yeah.
Tell us how much you love Tommy Brady there, Chief.
I mean, I'm not his biggest fan for sure, but I mean, he didn't have the most terrible game. You know, I mean, bad game, but not the most terrible. Um, and going 216 yards, two touchdowns, two interceptions, and a sack. Not the best. Finding Antonio Brown 8 times for about 60 yards. Chris Godwin 7 times for 53 yards. Had some good connections there. A couple of touchdowns. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans both in with a touchdown. Rushing wide, Leonard Fournette coming in with a touchdown. 7 rushes and 17 yards. The Rams just able to come out on top. Jared Goff going off on this one. 39 for 51. Threw the ball 51 times. Hell yeah. 376 yards for 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Not a big running game, but nobody wanted to run the ball, it seems. Literally. Less than 100 yards rushing between the two teams. It was a
Oh
pretty
yeah.
interesting game.
Oh yeah, Carol. By the way, yeah. I mean, as you can see, Chief here is the big Ravens fan, so you and him definitely feel the same pain. And you guys are
Oh, yeah.
definitely feeling a little worried about this Sunday for sure.
Yeah. For lack of better words, I'm worried.
Yeah. And as far as you were saying, yeah, this week Tom Brady definitely uh just looking like just like as he has been most of the year, just very I wouldn't say uncomfortable, just adjusting. Like he's still adjusting, still like it's not uncomfortable. It's just more uh it's like a scratch on your arm. You know, like he's not really like uncomfortable per se, just more irritated. And I think it's because
Yes.
he's still getting used to a team that he hasn't been with for 20 fucking years. You know, like that's I mean like people want to just give him shit because he just started his new team with no preseason and say, oh, you know, you're still doing, Tom Brady ain't shit this year, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, first off, he's been on the Patriots for 20 years. You know, used to that system. He grew with that system. Like you try working like in, let's say like as a mechanic, go work at Toyota for 20 years, and then all of a sudden like right after that, bam, go into a Ford dealership and say, okay, I'm gonna work on your engines. Like it's not the same. You're gonna run into a bunch of differences. You know, same schemes, same same overall general like engine per se, but there's a lot of differences, a lot of nicks that are niche, whatever it's called, that Toyota did specifically that Ford doesn't do, and Ford has specific things that Toyota didn't do. So you're gonna have to wholly adjust everything that you, and that's where the issue is. Oh, Carol. uh, uh,
I don't
I'm
know any of them.
okay. So he's Carson's Chris Carson, J.D. McKissick, Duke Johnson. I'm gonna go
I'll
with
go.
Ahmed
I
and McKissick. I'm just going with Ahmed and McKissick.
yeah.
The other two just no. Carson's not gonna do anything. Duke's not gonna do anything. McKissick against Ahmed. That's it. But anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's like I said, that's the thing with Tom Brady. He literally is in a new system. He's 7-4, so I mean you can get mad all you want. He still has a winning record, and yeah, he still threw a lot of picks and shit. But he's like I said, he still has a winning record. So like, it's just like I'm gonna go look at the season stats real quick, and they had no running game in this game either. So I mean, the fact they lost by 3 points on 42 yards rushing, and Tom Brady was their only offense. I mean, that means A, pretty decent defense to try to keep him in the game, and B, Tom Brady did what he could to keep him in the game, especially with Leonard Fournette only getting the one touchdown on a probably 6 yard rush or something like that. Um, on the other side, same thing though. Los Angeles had no rushing game, but Jared Goff said, "Hey, I got you. 376 yards, 3 touchdowns." Now for Brady, he's actually not having a bad year. Maybe everyone wants to give him shit. He has 2,955 yards, almost at 3,000, 45 away. Has 25 touchdowns, and both of those he's ranked fourth in the NFL, so he's in top five. He's got 9 interceptions, so he's tied for 28th. He is at the bottom tier for that, unfortunately, because he's had games where he's thrown a lot of picks. He's making mistakes, but he still has a 70.3 rating at 15, so like right in the middle. Honestly, I mean, like I'm looking at the first two numbers because he has top five and positive stats of touchdowns and yards, meaning that he's getting his team downfield and he's finishing drives. He's still doing it. The problem is that he still doesn't know his team that well, so when he wants to go route and someone does a hook, he's going to throw it deep to a cornerback who's by himself. That's why he has 9 interceptions because there's still that lack of communication he doesn't have. But no, Brady's just a shit quarterback.
I mean, it's because of all the shit that he's done in New England. Now that he's in a different team, it's he's being
Which I totally understand, like why you're like I've seen you've been like like when that game against the Saints when they just destroyed the Saints destroyed the Buccaneers, and yeah, it's a good reason. The Saints are we saw what they did this week. They're a crazy team. Brady's age still showing it again, Carol. It is, but it's not because the reason why it's not is because he's still top five in passing yards and in touchdowns. He's still it's showing hard would be different though. See, I disagree with that, Carol, because showing hard would be him throwing like Carson Wentz. He would be throwing not very many touchdowns. He would not be throwing very many yards. He'd be throwing a shit ton of picks. Like I feel like he's still making the team. He's 7-4 with this team for a team he doesn't really know. He didn't have a preseason with them. He had a small spring training camp with them, and then got right in the season where got destroyed by the Saints the first week, and then came out and had a great season afterwards. Honestly, this is where again, sorry, I'm kind of not trying to ramble, just trying to get to the point of I don't think he's retiring this year. I think that this year is the trial period for him. I think next year is his final year in the NFL, though. Make it or break it, final year in the NFL. Because I think he signed a 2 year contract. Is that right? Do you know, Chief?
yeah, he signed a 2 year.
So honestly, I think this year is a trial period. make it or break in the playoffs this year. It doesn't matter because I'm pretty sure they're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. I really don't. I mean, Tom Brady is a fucking beast in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, but I think next year he's make it or break a year. And honestly, watch out next year because I think that he's going to have the team that he's going to have this year. He's going to work with everybody. He's going to make sure the team stays together where he can. I mean, look what he did in Tampa, or not Tampa Bay. Look what he did in New England with Randy Moss, Wes Welker, the tight ends. You know, like everyone that he had and he kept with for that amazing 16-0 run. He made sure he kept them that next year. Now,
Damn straight.
I'm not saying they're going to go undefeated next year. I'm just saying that this year is a trial year. Next year is going to be the make it or break it, and then he's done. Like he's making his money. He's trying to get that one last Super Bowl without the Patriots, and then he's done with the NFL. That's just the way I see it. But I don't think that his age is showing as bad as people say. I think that it's just again 20 years with one coach, and then just saying, "Hey, fuck you, coach. I'm out. I'm gonna go with this guy over here," and be like, and he's like, "Hey, I run a completely different system. Are you ready?" He's like, "No."
Nope,
Too late.
no, not at all.
Yeah, because like we said, he's used to tight ends being receivers, and what did Bruce Arians say? Yeah, tight ends are offensive linemen. We have receivers for that.
We have receivers.
Yikes.
You let.
So we shall see. Anyway, so looking at this game, Antonio Brown had the most catches in this one. 8 catches, 57 yards. Looks like he's. Yep, looks like they brought in Antonio Brown for a certain reason, Chief.
Yeah.
Chris
Well, if
Godwin.
it's if it stays up.
Yeah, right. We'll see if he gets any touchdowns too, because Godwin and Evans had the touchdowns. Brown had the most catches on 13 targets, which shows again who Brady's trying to throw to.
Yes.
Gronkowski had only 2 catches on 6 targets, so again he's still trying to throw to Gronk every once in a while. On the other side, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods had great games: 11 catches for 145 yards, and 12 catches, 130 yards for 1 touchdown for Woods. So those two amazing games, especially for Goff to throw to them. But yeah, definitely close game though still, which is amazing to see because of the fact that it was like such a blowout in quarterbacks comparison. Not really running backs, but like I said,
Yeah.
quarterback comparison, just such a blowout. Um, yeah, pretty much defense. You know, did what they could to try to stop them. 10 total tackles for Sean Murphy Bunting, and then interceptions by Jason Pierre-Paul and Jordan Whitehead. So Jason Pierre-Paul said, "Hey, I'm a defensive lineman." Just kidding, that's mine. And then Jordan Fuller on the other side said, "Hey, Brady, I got you. 2 picks for Jordan Fuller. Well done, sir." Because especially against somebody like Tom Brady, I mean, like I feel pretty good after that. I'd be like hitting up the club or something, being like, "Yeah, I picked out Tom Brady twice. What's good?" just, just,
Yeah. Right.
just I mean, you can actually end your career with that and be like, what'd you do in the NFL? Picked off Tom Brady twice. No big deal. In the same game. Same game. Yeah.
Same game.
No big effing deal, dude. Oh, man. All right. And then, there we go. Sorry to get back to this. So, we are done with the recap. That was fun. 2.5 hours later. you know, we gotta do. We gotta do it.
Hey, we went off on some rants today.
That exactly. And
Felt good.
hey, you know what? I think that it went well with that. What the hell ever. Now as far as for the we have our rewards to give out to, which we will get to here in a sec. I'm just putting in some things here real quick. Um,
Oh,
hell.
I gotta disconnect camera for a second, but here audio wise.
Okay. No worries.
And yeah, I'm good.
All good. Okay. So, well, I went too far, but you guys already seen it. So, offensive player of the week had to give it to a Mister Derrick Henry. Like we said, didn't have a lot of yards, but he did what he needed to with 28 carries, 115 yards. I want to say was, but for a touchdown, and basically ran through a motherfucker's face where he could. Um, it was really hard to pick him, or there's a lot of like they said, those two receivers from the Rams, Cup and Woods would have been great choices. But we went Derrick Henry just because, like I said, just he pounded the rock where he needed to. He didn't get a lot of yards, but like I said, he did what he needed to for that team. And like I said, big games all around. Shout out to, like I said, Robert Woods and Cooper Cup. Amazing games. And to Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen was definitely a big shout out to him for 16 catches. Big game. So, um, yeah, it was hard to give this one up, but Derrick Henry pounded the Brock, so just giving it to him. But any one of those guys could have won it.
Absolutely.
Defensive player of the week, I had my pick from, like I said before, I picked Olivier Vernon because he had 3 total sacks, completely decimating on his team too. Or I think that was the Giants. Am I right? I forget. Gosh, I like totally lost where I got him from. Damn it. It was earlier in the, but like it was him, and there was somebody else at 3 sacks I was gonna pick as well because, like I said, 3 sacks in the game, really coming after the quarterback.
Jordan Cameron
Jordan Cameron,
had 3 sacks as well.
Cameron Jordan,
Cameron Jordan, that's what I meant.
which Cameron
I was
Jordan,
saying the last name first.
yeah, Cameron Jordan also stepping up, having a fantastic game with 3 sacks, which obviously he's a part of the Saints' amazing defense, so that was kind of to be expected. But still, just 3 sacks in the game, ridiculous for both of those guys. Well done, and I mean, shout out, like I said, Jordan Fuller for 2 picks against Brady, and yeah, it was hard to pick. Rookie of the week, really, I mean, probably could have gone to somebody else, or it could have gone any other way, honestly. But no, it couldn't actually, because honestly, Justin Herbert had a phenomenal day for the Chargers. Like, phenomenal day. He did what he could. He had the touchdowns. He looked good. He looked like he'd been doing this for a while. He's ready for next year to be the 1 year starting quarterback. He's gonna be the next. He could be the next Phillip Rivers for the Chargers to start for many years for them. Hopefully, he's not the same. He's not the next Phillip Rivers to not go into playoffs every year, though. Just saying.
Very true.
That was a decade's worth of bullshit they had to go through. Biggest bust of the week. Now this is rough, and we were gonna say something else, which I won't say because it would have been disrespectful.
I'm still gonna say it,
Oh, go ahead.
but I'm gonna say what it is first. The
Okay.
biggest bust of this week, hands down, is the Bengals offensive line.
Yep.
An even bigger bust than Joe Burrow's tendons.
Yeah. Attendance definitely didn't do well, and the O line, just like Joe Burrow's knee, crumbled under pressure.
Believe the stat. I have to look at it again real quick, but do believe they allowed him to be sacked 33 times already this season.
And I'm pretty sure that's an NFL most too. No, probably not. I think there's probably
No, it's second or third most in the NFL.
most is probably Matt Ryan or something like that, huh?
Let's see, there it is.
Drum roll. Most sacks allowed by an O line.
I'm not sure
It's
it's
alright.
allowed by the O line, but Joe Burrow specifically, he has been sacked 32 times, which is the third most in the league.
Wow. Allowed this year.
But as a rookie, getting hit by grown ass men.
So this year, Philadelphia. Sorry, that's right. Philadelphia is number one for sacks allowed this year, and Cincinnati's number two. So yeah, so that makes sense because Wentz obviously with the way he's been playing. And like I said, I don't blame Wentz completely for it. I think that, obviously he's a quarterback that should step up and still make plays. But it's hard to make plays when your O line crumples like it does in Philadelphia. Oh, sorry. Freaking wrong pipe. Now, uh, luckily, or unluckily for Burrows, Wentz isn't injured like he was last year from all those sacks. But it still doesn't help that, like I said, that this has been a big year for me as a fan. Saying, look, guys, like, like you look at all the teams in the NFL this year. Yeah, look at Houston with Deshaun Watson. You gotta look at New York with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, who tore his ACL week 2. You gotta look at Cincinnati, Joe Burrows. You gotta look at Philadelphia, Carson Wentz. Like I said, I could go on for all the Matt Ryan, Atlanta Falcons. O line needs to be drafted more often. I feel like there's so many people trying to go, oh, I need a new wide receiver. I need a new quarterback. I need a new running back. No, there's enough of those in the
You need an
NFL.
offensive line to protect them.
We need these offensive linemen that these teams have been like. There's so many colleges with so many big linemen who are ready for the NFL, and nobody is drafting linemen because they're trying to stick with these guys who have been in the NFL for long enough that, and they're like, oh, well, he's a 5-year pro. Guess what? He's been on the practice squad for 5 years. He ain't doing shit. It's obvious.
Not doing anything.
Like he's been with your organization for 5 years on the practice squad, and you brought him up, and guess what he's doing now? I don't know what's going on. No, he was sitting on his freaking couch eating chips last week. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Get a guy who came from college who at least like knows something. And that's the problem is that, like I said, like nobody cares for the Joe Thomases, the Walter Jones, Steve Hutchinsons, the freaking Orlando Paces. I can go on. Or Ogden, John Ogden, obviously, as you know, Chief.
Oh yeah, Terrell Suggs.
Huh?
No goes for him anymore. So Terrell Suggs.
Oh, that's linebacker. I was talking about the O line. John Ogden.
Still.
but, but yeah, like nobody goes for the O line.
Yonda.
Yonda. Matt Burke, I think was his name, the center you guys had for a while too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like all these O lines that were like phenomenal for the teams. Jeff Saturday, that you need that, and all these teams are like, well, I like receivers though. No, I don't give a fuck what you like. They'll be available in 5 years. Don't worry about that. Like
Yep.
once their rookie contract's gone, you can go pick them up then. Right now, you need to worry about your fucking quarterback turning into a Joe Burrow's torn ACL or RG3 with what happened to him, and Carson Wentz that 1 year and now this year being sacked all the time. Like, and that's why Russell Wilson for Seattle has been through has 7 turnovers in 2 weeks because he can't throw the ball without getting hit in the fucking face. Like it's ridiculous. Like build an O line. Like that's why you have teams like I'm trying to think who like Pittsburgh undefeated. You know why? Strong defense and everything. But guess what? That O line protects Roethlisberger. You see that? Like let me go back to that. Let me go back to that page real quick. So I'm gonna see where Pittsburgh ranks in that. Pittsburgh is number 2 on the list for allowing sacks, which means that they are the second least team to allow sacks. Number 1, the Colts. And guess how well the Colts are doing? Really fucking well. And guess who's their quarterback? Philip fucking Rivers. Who? Yeah, that guy that got stuck in San Diego or LAC, whatever you want to call him. He didn't do shit. And now he has an O line. He actually is doing something with that team. And they have a great defense too. Number 3, Green Bay. How well they're doing? Pretty fucking well. Next one, Rams. How well they doing? Pretty fucking well. Chiefs. I can go on. O-line, that's the main key. That's why so many of these teams are fucking up. And like third on the list, at the bottom there, Seattle. And yeah, you know what? Russell Wilson made a lot of mistakes. And you know why he makes a lot of mistakes? Especially in those 2 weeks that I was talking about? O-line fucking up. We're literally like third like from like 1, 2, 3, we're the third worst team for allowing sacks, for allowing quarterback hits. Wow. Sorry. Like I said, I like this is another one I like to rant about because it's like, dude, these coaches and these organizations keep like, go watch. I swear, go watch that fucking movie about Michael Oregon. Like go see that shit. Okay, like figure out why these guys are like important. All right, like fuck's sakes, dude. Oh yeah, and then number four on that list, Washington. And guess what happened to their quarterback? Got injured. Mister what's his name? I just said his name too. The Washington quarterback, not Dwayne Haskins, the other one, Tyler something, or I don't remember. Fuck it.
uh,
Sorry. And then number five on that list, or for worst, like fifth worst, New York Giants. And guess what? Saquon Barkley, torn ACL. Daniel Jones ain't doing shit.
no.
So, and just to make it fun, because we're still doing this. Number six on the list for worst, Jacksonville, 1-9. Can't do shit. Don't have a good quarterback. Don't have any O line. I'm just saying
Yeah.
this is proving my fucking point. There's my rant for the week as well. Another rant. It was fun. Thank you guys.
Thank you for indulging, Jet.
Thank you. But like, I'm just trying to make a point. Like I said, and I'm hoping, like you said, like this draft, I see a lot of offensive linemen. I do. I really do think that offensive linemen are needed. Uh, and especially for these young quarterbacks that come in the game. Like, why should a quarterback or a running back? Why should we be seeing so many fucking torn ACLs? Why should we be?
Yeah.
Why? Why should we be seeing so many torn ACLs? It's fucked up. You know why? Because no one's fucking blocking. Hey, what's up, JoJo? Yep, 0-16. Yeah, it's coming. I mean, we might see a maple bar. You might see that one pop up. You never know. We'll see. Okay. Anyway, so
That's my input.
next up, we got the special teams player of the week, which we talked about. He hit the game-winning field goal for his team. Wick and Iverson don't like him. His name is
Rodrigo Blankenship. I blanked on his name, and then I was like, wow, I'm blanking. Blankenship!
He blanked his name.
Awesome.
Blankenship.
I Blankenshipped his name.
Had a great game. He missed one field goal, but you know what? At least it's not like Goskowski who missed 5 field goals in one game one time. I'm just saying. So he went 4 for 5, hit the clutch field goal he needed, made all of his extra points. How many points did he have for the game there, Chief?
14.
Total of 2 touchdowns just for one guy kicking. Pretty well done, I would say. He missed. If he made that one field goal, yeah, it would have been like 30. It would have been 17 points. But you know what? I ain't mad. 80% completion. I love you. Hear that? That's fucked up. All right. Now, with tomorrow, Thanksgiving, which happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there, by the way. Of course, me and Chief always want to do that.
Happy Turkey Day.
Eat some turkey.
Well, it's Thanksgiving here, technically. It's 1 a.m. here, so happy Thanksgiving
So
to
everyone
y'all.
on the East Coast who's watching somehow, happy Thanksgiving. Y'all better be going to bed soon because y'all are going to be eating a lot tomorrow. Eat that cranberry sauce, that chicken, stuffing, great potatoes and gravy.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
Your name. You got it.
Eat it all.
And while you guys are doing that, we're going to be predicting what the games look like for you tomorrow and this weekend. Let's go. So starting with tomorrow, we got the Texans going towards the Lions because Lions always got to play every Thanksgiving. If you in Detroit playing for the Lions, you better not be doing anything Thanksgiving because you playing football. And for this one, I'm going with the Texans. I'm gonna go with Texans. I almost want to go with Detroit because I feel like Detroit would be kind of pissed after this week. We're going scoreless, But do they have the manpower to really be pissed and win? I'm gonna go with Texans.
Same.
I just feel like Lions are pissed, but I feel like if anything, it's going to be directed towards their own coaching staff because Matt Patricia's garbage. He needs to get out of Detroit. Fuck Patricia. Sorry, I'm going to say it once, I'm going to say it twice. Fuck Patricia because he is an asshole and nobody likes him on his team. As far as I know. and he's a horrible coach apparently. But either way, he's led his team to shit. I don't like him. He needs to get out of Detroit. Stafford, poor bastard. He needs a team. Like he's a good quarterback. He really is. He just doesn't have he has team around him somewhat. Like he wasn't the Lions weren't on the list for sacks, so he has an old line too. Like he has the team around him. The coaching staff they keep fucking with though. Like Caldwell, they had Jim Caldwell there, and they got rid of him like so quick for no fucking reason. Like I have no idea why they got rid of him. I thought he was a good coach for them.
Yeah, it was a little silly.
Yeah. Next game we have on this list because the other one's on Sunday. Washington Cowboys. Washington football team versus the Cowboys. Uh, if Dalton plays like he did last week, I'm going with the Cowboys. But
Yeah, that's how I'm going this week.
I mean, it depends on like I said. Okay.
You mean to tell me, are you gonna look me in the face? Are you gonna look me in the face and tell me that you're gonna bet against America's football team on Thanksgiving?
Really? That's what you're gonna go with?
You communist.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm looking at it more like, oh man, that's actually. If you think about what Washington's old the Washington football team's name was back in the day, this would be a very
This would be a very interesting.
this
Maybe that's why they
this would
did
be
it.
a very
Maybe
bad game to watch actually because I feel like people would be watching like, wait a tick, this seems familiar.
how 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 often have they played?
On Thanksgiving. We'll have to see because I just thought about that. I'm like, well, with the Washington's old name against the Cowboys, if you think about it, it's pretty. History repeats itself. Let's just say, in a weird way. It's pretty fucked up, Chief.
I mean, all right. Well, looking at the last few games,
Mhm.
let me. Oh, this doesn't necessarily say. Oh, okay. Um, so out of the last 5 games, uh, Cowboys have won 3.
Three.
Yep. But overall, the Cowboys lead 73-46. Um, oh, they did play earlier this season. That's right. Washington did kick the ass of the Cowboys, but if I remember correctly, that was the game that Prescott went down.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh no, that might have been the first one without Prescott. Yep, that was the first one without Prescott where Andy Dalton threw 9 for 19, 75 yards, and then DiNucci came in and threw uh 2 for 3, 39 yards.
Okay, I
So,
remember that.
I
That's true.
mean, the Cowboys seem to have their shit a little bit more together, so that's why if I think if the Cowboys play like the Cowboys have been playing in the last few weeks,
I would
yeah.
say just from last week, yeah. If Dalton and Zeke both come out playing like that last week, definitely gonna be a Cowboys win, and it's in Dallas. So, uh,
And can't bet against America's football team on Thanksgiving. It's unpatriotic. It ruins the whole thing. If we're going to have anything this year, we're going to have patriotism. We're going to come together as one and love each other.
so
And that's my
patriotism.
rant.
So we're supporting the Patriots now.
No, I did not say New England. I said America's football team.
Oh Lord. Okay, fine. Well, still, I'm gonna say fine. Well, because I thought about it. I mean, as much as I like the Washington football team, and I think that
You know what? I'm
uh
going to do it. I didn't want to I wanted to be pretty uh what's the word? I can't
biased, unbiased.
sparse. I wanted to be sparse with this and only do it on absolute,
No,
I'm sure.
don't you do it.
But for
This
no,
is not the time for it, Chief. This is a dangerous
I'm doing it
game.
for America.
No, this is a
I'm doing
dangerous
it for
game, Chief.
America.
Don't ruin the
This
hammer.
hammer
Don't
is
ruin.
willing to
If
take
you
it for
ruin the
America.
hammer, it's
The
not going to be
hammer has to
effective.
take a lot, but if the hammer takes a loss, if the hammer takes one loss, it's bound to happen. But if the hammer is going to prove its worth, it is going to prove its worth for America on Turkey Day.
No, God damn it.
Cowboys.
You just ruined the hammer. If the Cowboys lose, you're going to have to throw
No,
away the hammer.
no, nope. Ain't going to lose.
Fine. I'm going
That
with you, though.
hammer.
I'm going to go with you with the Cowboys. Gosh. Because you know what? Yeah, like Alex Smith, I love Alex Smith, but it's time for him to retire. He needs to stop. Yeah, yeah. You buy the expensive ass. I got fuck for a dog. He's not. Yeah, my dog's the same way, but she still is picky. Like I'll give her the treats and she'll still eat them, but then she'll look at me like, well, what else you got? So
So, got more for me now?
yeah. And now fast forward from Thursday, we're going to Thursday, the Sunday night or Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. You know all that good stuff. 1 p.m. for you guys, 10 a.m. for me. Raiders versus Falcons, which I gotta say for this one, I mean, got the way the Raiders played against the freaking Chiefs, definitely gotta go with the Raiders. Beating up on the Falcons defense, honestly. Josh Jacobs gonna run the ball on them. Not sure how much Derek Carr's gonna throw, but I'm pretty sure Raiders is at least gonna run the ball on them. So I'm gonna give it to the Raiders.
Yep, same here. I think the Raiders have, I mean, just overall throughout the season, looked much better. The defense have been doing their job. I mean, beating Patrick Mahomes, almost beating Patrick Mahomes again. I mean, that's a fucking feat in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm definitely going with the Raiders on this one. But we have seen Matt Ryan turn it around, so I'm not
Oh
necessarily
yeah,
counting them out, but uh, and definitely Raiders, my pick, and I think it's going to be a very close game. I wouldn't say more than a touchdown or two separating them.
definitely, and definitely for Matt Ryan, he's still a great quarterback. I'm not, and it's like one of those things where this year has just been a really bad uh, example for the Falcons, unfortunately. But I still feel like uh, they got to recuperate that team. They just need to like Julio's still there. You still got Matt Ryan. That O line's still there. I mean, the defense is what's really just been the issue for them. Like honestly, the defense and the coaching, because the defense gave up so many points those few weeks that we saw, and then the coaching just wasn't helping. So once they like turn that around out in the off season, you'll get a lot of like linebacking defensive backs. I think mostly the linebacking defensive back core, like they got rid of Desmond Trufant. They have Keanu Neal, and that's it in the secondary. Once they fix that, it's gonna be a different team next year.
Yes,
If they fix it, we'll see what happens. Next up, we got the
they have to fix them.
Chargers. Oh, sorry. Next up, we have the Chargers versus the Bills. Bills all the way, dude. I still think Josh Allen's main candidate for MVP. I like the guy so freaking much. He's done so freaking well this year. I mean, I know we can't dismiss Patrick Mahomes. We really can't. But dude, this from the Bills last year to this year, and the way Josh Allen's been playing himself, and then like the fact that they got his Stephon Diggs, which I guess I've said it once, said a million times, total godsend for the Bills because him and Josh Allen are like the two best friends that anyone can have, but they do, and it's amazing. It's a great game, or great team right now, and I feel bad because LaShawn McCoy was on that team for so long, and then they get rid of him, and Devin Singletary steps up, and now they're winning the games. I'm just like, okay, LaShawn,
Well,
I still love you, LaShawn, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bills. Same. Okay.
same, yeah.
You sure you don't want to try your rookie of the week, Herbert?
No, I
Nope.
mean, as much as I love Herbert, I think Herbert's going to have a good game. But I mean, yeah, I'm looking at it. The over under 52 points they're predicting to be scored. Buffalo only
Yeah.
by what, 5.5.
I think the over under is going to be 52 points. It's going to be Bills 42, Chargers 10. It's gonna.
Yeah,
Just kidding. It won't be that bad, but I still feel like it's gonna be a.
I think it's going to be a high scoring game while also being like this is a confusing statement. Well, not confusing, just slightly contradictory.
Okay.
It's going to be a high scoring game while also being not necessarily defensively sound, but like a good defensive game as well. I just think, I mean, both Justin Herbert and Josh Allen are phenomenal quarterbacks. And I think that it's going to be a fucking battle, like
Mm-hmm.
for sure. But I just think Josh Allen just has that spark this year, has that push, that motivation to do a little bit better than Herbert.
Absolutely, 100%. And yeah, like you said, Josh Allen has been showing this year is like, even though it's been a weird year for everyone else, like which is true. Josh Allen's looking at it like, hey, it's my year. I know everyone else like it's gonna be the infamous year of COVID, but for me, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, that was my year. I was really good in football. So
Yeah, I showed out that year. Hell yeah.
yeah, and hopefully, I mean, it's not gonna be the one year he shows up. I don't want to see him next year be like, well, that was fun, fuck it, and then just not play anymore. But yeah, I just feel like he's really proven like this is the year. Like it's like its third or fourth year in the NFL. The Buffalo team has been constantly building. You know, they tried to use LaShawn McCoy, didn't really work out. They had a lot of receivers come through there that didn't really work out. Then they went out and got Stephon Diggs, amazing. Built up Devin Singletary, amazing. The O line's good. The defense is stacked. Tre'Davious White, just everybody on that defense has been doing amazing, amazing. I keep saying that. I don't care, but
Man.
it's uh, it's a good team, and I like it. So next game, it's a tough one to see because it's Giants versus Bengals. Had things been different, I would have chosen Bengals automatically. Given Joe
Yep.
Burrow the yes, absolutely. With this injury, I gotta go with the Giants. It like honestly, it was a huge. This is like the biggest loss for the Bengals. Like especially the fact their backup is Ryan Finley, who who exactly. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean it. I I want to give him especially when he came in on that last game, he went 3 for 10 for 30 yards, then and like 30% completion.
Garbage.
Eh, yeah, it's definitely a rough going ahead of them. And Giants, at least they still have Daniel Jones, who it isn't much better. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to disrespect Daniel Jones, but he's had years to prove himself, and he hasn't done shit. So this game could be a way for him to blow up and say, "Hey, I can still kind of play." Or maybe it's a close game where both sides don't really move the ball, and then we win by field goals. Who knows? But anyway, I'm choosing Giants, and I think it's gonna be like a 9-6 game. Like honestly, it's gonna be a field goal day.
Yeah, that's kind of where I see the game going as well. Let me see. What do they got for the points projected on this? They're still saying over under is 42.
Mm.
I think it's going to be much lower than the 42.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely way too high. Like that's basically them saying it's gonna be a 21-21 game, and I'm like, nope, nope.
Not happening.
Yeah. Next up, another AFC South rivalry, the second part of the Titans versus the Colts. Tennessee now going to the Colts Stadium to battle. I think, and the Colts won in Tennessee last game, if I remember correctly. So now they're going to be in Indy. I'm taking the Colts. Even though Derrick Henry is on the Titans, they show that the Colts show they can handle Henry in that last game. Then again, Henry only ran 16 times against the Colts that last time because that's what we talked about. So if Derrick Henry runs 28 times on the Colts, what do you think they'll be different? Because the Colts have a strong defense.
So yeah, that's the thing. The Colts do have a very strong defense, and I think they're aware of that. And Philip Rivers isn't a dumb quarterback. He may not be the best, but he is a very
He doesn't
smart
make stupid
quarterback.
plays. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He does not make stupid plays. Like if the ball leaves his hand, he is fully like he fully expects that ball to be caught. He's not, oh shit, I'm not sure. I think with that, with that being said, I do think he's a very smart quarterback as well as the coaching staff that they have over there. As far as knowing that if Derrick Henry gets to run a lot on them, it's going to be an issue. So let's take a little bit longer on offense. Let's, crowd the line a little bit and, not show as many holes just so, we don't give him that opportunity to, oh, okay, well, I see where I can start to sneak through. And if anybody comes in, just push them out of the way.
Hmm.
Like I think it's going to be a very close one. Um, maybe a big battle, but uh, Colts Colts coming out at least with a 7 point lead.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's going to be a very, very close, very close game because I think it's going to be mostly defensive. Because I'm just looking at stats here too from last time they played, and yeah, last time they played, Rivers only threw for one touchdown. He threw for 300 yards, but yeah, it was just he had no interceptions for one touchdown. Um, and on the year, he has 2,683 yards, which is 11th in the league. 14th, 14 touchdowns, tied for 19th. 8 interceptions, tied for 23rd, and 64.7 rating, 20th. So he's a below, he's a bottom, he's not a bottom tier, but he's like the below the line tier quarterback. But like you said, it's like even though he has the 8 picks, he doesn't throw any on the Colts defense. And even though he only has the one touchdown, it's still the fact that you know I think he has the running game with Jonathan Taylor in them. It's just
Yeah.
it's gonna be a very low scoring game though. I still feel like it's gonna be like a 10-7, 14-10, something like that. It's gonna be a very low scoring game. It's just gonna be a defensive battle back and forth.
Oh yeah. I'm going 17-10 Colts.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stay low, 14-10. I don't see a lot of points, but watch is gonna be a high scoring affair. But we don't know. We'll see.
Wait, what did you say?
I said watch is
14-10?
14-10. Yeah, I will hold. And if I lose that and you win it, I don't care. I will hold to it. Be like, wow, they showed up.
Hey, I'm only going a field goal higher than you.
True,
So
but hey, there's still an extra field goal that I don't know about. So
gotta have some respect for the goddamn brand.
next up we have the Panthers and Vikings.
Mm.
Boy, yeah,
That
it's a
was
tough one because, well,
that
again with
was a little
PJ,
tough.
because again with PJ, sorry, here it goes. Whew. With PJ in there, you got the Panthers quarterback. It's not Teddy, it's PJ in there right now against could be Burke, could be Kirk Cousins. We don't know yet for the Vikings. So
But whoever shows up for either Kirk or Burke, Dalvin Cook is showing up. That's why I'm going
oh,
Vikings on
Vikings,
this one.
gotcha. That makes sense because Dalvin Cook, I feel like
Because both of Cousins' counterparts know that, all right, well, if I'm not getting the job done in the air, give the ball
somebody's
to
on the
Dalvin
ground.
Cook.
Somebody's on the ground. Like
Or
hand it off.
and the other one knows, well, hey, I'm getting the job done through the air really well. Let's mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely get that. And honestly, McCaffrey hasn't been doing much either for the Panthers. So I mean, last game they lost to the crap. Who they lose to last game? And we were surprised by it. Uh, hell. Oh well, F it. Oh, hey, there goes Oh wait, no, we just looked it up right here. Cowboys. Cowboys beat them last week, but that was also because Andy Dalton stepped
Yes.
up. So yeah, I'm gonna say the go back down here. Uh, I'm gonna give it to the Vikings too, just because Dalvin Cook, Kirk or Burke, whatever. I feel like Dalvin Cook's gonna run it. Just run the ball
Yes.
with Dalvin. Just give it to him. 28, 30 times. Let him run it.
In the ball. Let him run.
Run the ball. Run the ball. All right, Cardinals versus the Patriots. This is actually I'm excited for
Uh,
this one because it's gonna be Kyler Murray now versus Cam Newton instead of Lamar versus Cam. So another interestingly like I think it's gonna be a. I want to see Cam this game actually. I want to see like I'm not saying like like again because I know Patriots, but I want to see Cam do what he did last week because I think that last week he showed a lot. Like he's a quarterback and he did really well last week. I don't care about that they lost like by 7 points. I mean I know the team does. I know he does. But the fact that he like ran the ball 3 times and threw the ball for almost 400 yards, that's well done. That's a good show to say, hey, I know I'm a quarterback. Look, watch me do my thing. You know. And Kyler Murray, I mean, Kyler Murray's has been pretty good this year. I mean, yeah, he's had some bumps here and there, but he's been good. DeAndre Hopkins, freaking Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald, he's been on fire. He's been, and he has the weapons. So, I mean, honestly, uh, I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm gonna give it the Cardinals though, just because they have been winning and doing really well. Uh, it's hard to go against but unless Cam steps up and plays the way he did last week too again, and even then, I don't know if that's enough to win the game though.
yeah, that's exactly my thought process on it. Cam seems to get a little bit demoralized after a loss, especially when he plays good.
Yeah, because he just thinks like,
So
what's the point? I can't. If I like, I'm the one working my ass off. Why should I even bother anymore? And then,
correct.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm definitely going with the Cardinals on this one. I wouldn't necessarily think. I don't think it's going to be a super high scoring game, but I would say at least 2 3 touchdowns from each side.
I can see that. I think it's going to be 21-17 Cardinals. Like I said, it's not going to be a blowout, but I think that Murray's going to have at least a good few touchdowns. Probably, yeah. I'd say 21 or 28 points, and then like the Patriots are just going to be like right behind them, pretty much with like a 28-21 victory, like how the Seahawks beat them this week, 2021. I think it's gonna be like that with the Cardinals though.
Yeah,
So next up, we got Dolphins next.
yeah.
Dolphins versus
Where is
Jets.
it? Hold on. Yep.
Oh,
Dolphins, Jets.
and guess who's playing against his former team too with that?
Dolphins.
Well,
Dolphins.
guess who's playing against his former team? Mister Fitzy.
Uh, oh.
Fitzmagic playing against the Jets, where he was there for a little bit.
Well, Tua is starting, so
Is he? No,
Fitzmagic
hold
might
on.
not see.
I thought Fitzpatrick starting.
Hmm. No,
That was the.
unless that came out recently.
I swear it's what it said. Hey, Rooster, happy freaking Thanksgiving, my guy.
Hey, it's cool, bud.
Um, let's see, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Sorry, bench for remains Miami starting quarterback. Oh, let's see,
Yeah, he's
remains
still the starter.
quarterback. Despite Fitzpatrick nearly leading the Dolphins to a comeback win, he threw an interception in double coverage. That job should be okay. That's still that's still frustrating a little bit. I will admit, I'm still frustrated that they actually. I thought Fitzpatrick was starting this week. I feel like, sorry, I am very,
Where
I
I
am
am
frustrated.
upset what they did to Fitzpatrick.
Give him
I
his
like
year. Give him his year.
I'm it put yeah, like I'm in that weird spot of like, I'm upset with what they did with Fitzpatrick, but also, Tua is shining.
Yeah, but
I'm like,
and I mean he can shine only fucking once. He has. I mean,
well, see, I think like at least from what I see, I think they're playing Tua the best out of all the rookie quarterbacks we have right now in the league. Like I think they're treating Tua the best as
oh,
far as his playing
they're
and
treating him the
whatnot,
best.
just
Okay.
because, well, yeah, they had Fitzpatrick in the start.
Mm-hmm.
Tua didn't play at all.
Yeah.
Let him watch.
Yeah.
And also his injury, so they probably wanted to give him a little bit more time to see, readjust, make sure everything was on point. Put him in a little bit. Yeah, you did good. All right, let's get you set. Let's put you in for a couple games. No, and just like you kind of see in you see in the Madden games when you play, like the story. When you're in there as a rookie, you keep winning, you keep playing. So I think they kind of are, doing that with him. And, last week, maybe, like I said, maybe they were just a little bit unprepared. That's why the coach is going, give you another one. You had a rough week. Everyone has a rough week. He's still 3-1 as a starting quarterback.
Understandable.
What other rookie quarterback in the league started 3-1?
This year, none.
None.
No.
I mean, and then you got, and looking at all the other rookie quarterbacks this year, I mean, Justin Herbert, he's doing pretty well, but he doesn't necessarily have a strong offense around him. I mean,
Yeah,
they
no
don't,
running game for sure.
yeah, no running game, so it's all on the air to him. And he's doing a great job, but that's just not enough to win football games.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow, again, awesome, throwing through the air. He's finding his targets, but he keeps getting fucking destroyed by the defense because he has no O-line and he's
Which then
out.
ended up being his
Jordan Love,
downfall.
yeah, which was downfall. Jordan Love, what's he thrown? 4 passes professionally this year?
Not
Like,
much. They're still trying to. They're trying to, like you said, like
and
progress
and
him.
understandably so. I mean, he's got Aaron Rodgers in front of him. There's no need to put him in, but like, just as far as the rookie quarterbacks go, I think they're how he's going about it is kind of the best way, and they're giving him his shot.
Well, that's the thing that people don't seem to understand is that they think that they drafted Jordan Love as a Joe Burrow quarterback. They're like, oh, he drafted Jordan Love. He's a Joe Burrow, not even Justin
Yeah,
Herbert,
no,
because Justin Herbert was
they.
supposed to be a backup. Tyrod Taylor got fucked, like in his
Mhm.
injury and stuff, and then yeah, like stuff. But yeah, Joe Burrow. They thought that that was the case in Green Bay. And oh, Aaron Rodgers is out. No, like you gotta realize the Packers have done this with Rodgers. Like they and Matt Flynn. Like they draft a quarterback, bring him in, and he's a safety blanket. So if Rodgers goes down, he gets his chance to shine and show what kind of quarterback he is, and he develops under a quarterback while in the system.
And that was the whole, yeah, like you said, that was the whole thing with Aaron Rodgers and Favre.
Mm-hmm.
They had no intention of replacing Favre that year
Nope,
or the next year.
nope.
And
And the
honestly,
whole
they
media blew it out of
probably
proportion.
exactly the whole media blew it out of proportion, made Favre to a point where Favre fucking hated Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
And and Aaron Rodgers has done interviews about it and he has even said, I didn't ask to be put in this position. Jordan Love sure as hell didn't ask to be put in this position, but I've been in the position where the veteran didn't give two fucks. Like I'm not gonna let him have to figure that shit out on his own. Like I'm here. This is my backup. I want to make sure me and him are on the same page and that if something does happen and I go down, he can come out and imitate what I do to get us to where we need to be.
He's trying to, yeah, he's taking what Brett Favre did to him and using that to the opposite effect of, hey, I get it. You're here for, a few years down the road, for however many years is going to be
Yeah.
down the road when I'm out and you're
Yeah,
coming in.
nobody is saying that I'm done. Like clearly I've had good seasons, but
This season's
I
showing
think a
I'm
little
still
I think a
good.
little bit. Yeah, I think it lit a little fire under his ass like, all right,
Yeah.
well,
And
if
honestly,
I'm not producing,
let's face it though, honestly, if they were actually trying to put Jordan Love, like they were actually trying to replace him with Jordan Love, let's face it, they've had chances this year where they put in a different quarterback when they were winning by a bunch.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Or when they were losing and Aaron Rodgers was, and not that Aaron Rodgers has had bad games, but
uh,
like when he just wasn't playing on his A
they
plus
could have
game, he was
replaced it. They
playing like
could
his B minus game.
like they did with in Miami with Fitzpatrick and Love. You know, like they could have done that with him. They didn't. They said, okay, it's like you got it, Rodgers. Like
Yeah, I
and
mean, I would. I mean, I know. I mean, I know he's had a couple of passes this year. I'm actually gonna find out for sure while I'm talking about it.
it was like maybe like I know there was like another backup that came in, but yeah, like I said, it's been like maybe like at most 5 passes. Like it's been all Rodgers.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I would honestly be surprised if he throws more than 20 passes this year.
Shoot, more than 10 for me. Like I think that we're coming up to the point where like actually no, that's a lie. I feel like he could throw that many, or he could throw more if the last game of the season they clinched the division. Like if they know for sure they can't get any higher than where they are, like they clinched the division and they can't get any higher than that. Jordan Love's going to be playing the last game or something like that to rest the starters. You know what I mean?
Um,
Like I could see that,
this
and it's not going to be because they're
Jordan
trying.
Love actually has not thrown a single pass yet.
Yeah, that's why I figured because I was saying I know they like I said they put in the other backup when Rogers was like destroying a game. They put in somebody else like for Rogers, but not Jordan Love. Because I even asked my brother because I remember my brother told me the joke because I said why did they put in Jordan Love, dude? Like I mean they're just destroying this
Well,
game. Why wouldn't you put
well,
in?
even if they did put in Jordan Love, no passes have been thrown by any other quarterback.
Oh,
Like not even attempts. Aaron Rodgers is the only quarterback to have
no
any
one else in the
throws.
Packers don't. Really? I thought there was
Yeah.
somebody else.
I mean, they might have put in a kicker or a punt. I'm looking at the Green Bay stats right now. For passing yards, they only have Aaron Rodgers.
Oh wow. Okay. Green Bay passing 2020, I guess. Let's see. I mean, I believe you. I do believe you. And
No,
uh,
yeah, yeah, no,
oh,
I'm not
yep, there
seeing
it
him at
is. It's
all on
just
the list.
Rogers. So yeah, okay. Um, yeah. So basically, it. Yeah. No, you're right. So basically, yeah. And that's the thing though. Is like, if they do bring in, like I said, if they do have Love play a game, it's gonna be on the last day of the season. And that's only because like I said, they
Yeah.
clinched the division. They don't need the last game to win. They've done like the record is set, and they're like, all
And
right,
the big blowout loss that they had
yeah,
was to the Buccaneers. You're gonna put a rookie quarterback in his first game against Tom Brady? Hell no, sit the fuck down.
well, like I said, and
You do not ever do that.
like let's see here. So let me look at the Packers schedule. Like because I think, like I said, like I'm guessing Packers clinch, and they win they win the division, they clinch um that that last game of the season, which is against against the Lions. It looks like that's their last. No, sorry. Oh, okay, that was Bears. It's going against the Bears, which is a huge division rival. And if they don't really need the
Yep.
win, because they, like I said, it would be a great game for him to have his first game on. Like, what was your first game against the Bears, which is our division rival since NFL started. So I think that would be a great game to throw him in and be like, hey man, Rogers is getting ready for the playoffs. He's not going to play this game. You ready to show us what you got? Like why not? Why not? Matt Flynn did that back, like I said, when he was with Green Bay before he went to Seattle. You know what happened? He had 5 or 6 touchdowns against the Lions, and Seattle said, "Holy shit, come on over." You know what I mean? Like that's what got him his contract was that big fucking game at the end of the season. They're like, "Holy shit, this kid's ready to
Uh,
start." And then unfortunately for him, like I said, that draft it was miracle worker of hey, a third round. Who's this kid? Russell Wilson. No, let's just go ahead and pick him up, see what happens. Boom! Shit happened. Okay. And so yeah, I mean, ugh, it just makes me sad. But yeah, what makes me sad is like that. Mostly for Brian Fitzpatrick, like I said, going back to that. But Jordan Love, like I said, he may not see a snap this season, or he may see one at the end of the season, I think. But like I said, so with this one Tua against the Jets, obviously I'm going with Tua. I still feel bad for Fitzpatrick. I wish that he was starting. He may come in after they're destroying the Jets. You never know. We'll see. But yeah, if they lose to the Jets, I say that Fitzpatrick gets a starting job back now.
Agreed.
If they lose.
If Tua hands the Jets their only win of the season, I'm gonna buy a Tua jersey just to throw it on the ground.
And threw it on the ground.
I was gonna say burn it, but I wouldn't do that. Like I think he
I think
does
that's
have a
so
good
dumb.
future. I just want to be mad. I just want to be mad enough to throw it on the
Right.
ground and then be like, all
I
right,
think that's
you've learned your lesson.
I think that's so dumb when people do that. They're like, I'm gonna burn your jersey. Like, why? Like that's a lot. That's money
Yeah.
wasted. Like, and then
I mean,
like I get what you're
I
trying to say. I get the point, but like
yeah,
people
I
spend
get the symbolism, but also like yeah, like you did just spend a whole bunch of money on that they already
and there's
have,
people that
and
worked hard on that shit, and you're just gonna burn it because you're symbolizing. Just take a picture of him and burn it for fuck's sakes. Like, just do that. Get a picture. Fuck. You don't need to burn a damn jersey. That's too much money. Oh, I don't.
step on
It's
it.
the show.
You
I
know,
don't
step
care. It's not about the money. It's about my pride. Shut the fuck up. Okay.
step on it or something, and then throw it in the back of your closet.
Step on it, throw it, or give it a goodwill too, like so someone else can wear it. Shit. there's some
Exactly.
there's some poor kid that still loves LeBron even though he left the town and he was like, oh shit, I want his jersey now from Cleveland or something. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up we have
So,
Browns and Jaguars. You know, I'm feeling like the Jaguars are not going to win this one. No, it's going to be a Browns victory. I just had to get you there a little bit.
agreed.
We're going with the hammer. Browns win for hammer.
Dropping the hammer on the
Okay.
Browns.
So hammer on the Browns and the hammer on the Cowboys. Are you sure you don't want to hammer on the
I
Dolphins?
I got the hammer on the Dolphins too.
Oh, okay, I didn't
I'm
see that.
hammer on the Cowboys and the Dolphins and the Browns so far. I got two more hammers. Hammer's having a big
Oh,
week. Hammer's going
we have
5 and
we have
0.
five total hammers for the week.
Hammer's going 5 and 0 this week.
Okay, here we go. Next up, we got the. Here we go. Your team there, bud.
Oh yeah. We got the Steelers and the fucking Ravens.
Which the reason why he's upset. 10-0 Steelers, and last time they played, Steelers had a little fun with the.
Dog walked on us.
Yeah.
And now if you follow any social media or anything, or and football in general,
Right.
you know that this game was now postponed from its Thursday night Thanksgiving prime time game
To Sunday,
to Sunday at what, like 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1:15.
Yep.
I mean, nah, but so and this is because of the COVID testing and certain Ravens players and staff testing positive, which obviously hope they get better. But you can understand where the Steelers are pissed because they have followed all their fucking protocols. They have done everything they are supposed to do.
Still
None of
10 to
them
0.
have tested positive. Still 10 and 0. And now, not only have they had another game rescheduled already this season, they lost their bye week, and now they lose their Thanksgiving game. The Steelers are fucking pissed, and Steelers are coming at the Ravens with everything that they have in the fucking tank and then some.
Which I agree. I think they're probably pissed, but I also think they're probably not as pissed.
And it's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, which I know they're ready for that though. But I mean, I don't think they're as pissed because the reason why is because now they can actually spend time with their families.
Oh no. Well, yeah, obviously. I'm sure they were
That
excited
side of
about
it,
that.
they're
But I
happy.
mean,
But they were wanting to
but
destroy
yeah,
the Ravens
but
on Thanksgiving.
oh yeah, they wanted to destroy the Ravens on Thanksgiving. But I mean, that's the thing. With everything, all the factors with that. Chase Claypool, Juju Smith, couple other key members of the Steelers posting on social media how they were fucking pissed that these games got rescheduled, or this game got rescheduled due to another team's negligence when the NFL had said previously in the season they didn't care about an unfair advantage. And if your team had 15 people with COVID, well, then they can't play, and your other 30
And they
people that
had
are
to,
on the
I
roster,
get you, yeah. They had to reschedule again when the
they had to reschedule again,
NFL was
losing their
saying they didn't care
Thanksgiving
about that.
game. Yeah, I think, they're as much as it pains me, and I'm actually pretty sure this is the first time this season that I am betting against the Ravens,
It is.
but Steelers hands down.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Steelers too, only because I feel like Lamar's like it's gonna be a game where John Harbaugh really needs to see Lamar like lack of better terms get his ass whooped, and not because like I mean tackled and just and like beaten up like that. I mean like his ass whooped like he can't throw the
Oh,
ball.
Lamar's about to get the fear of God beat
Like
into
he's not gonna
him.
get like hit. Like I mean he's gonna get hit, but what I mean is like he's gonna try to run outside. He can't do shit. He's gonna try. He's not gonna be able to throw the ball because he's gonna try to exit the pocket too much, and then when he does throw the ball, it's gonna be like a freaking crazy shot downfield that's gonna get picked off. He's gonna have it's gonna be a very brutal game and brutal awakening for Lamar Jackson. I'm
I
hoping
don't.
because I don't know if it's gonna be an
Oh,
awakening or if it's gonna be just a beatdown.
and you know what? And if just by some magical chance the Ravens pull their fucking britches up and they get this win, awesome. But I ain't seeing it. And even if it happens, they need to fucking continue.
Yeah.
That's been the thing. Like, we'll have a good game, and all right, yeah, we're back on it. And then next week, you see Lamar threw for 95 yards,
Right. The most he's
ran
thrown
for
so far
four.
this year is about probably 200 some yards. He
Yeah,
hasn't,
I think he
not
had
even
one
250, I don't think.
one plus two. Yeah, one 200 plus game, and the rest have all been,
Yeah.
for the most part, about 115 to 130 something.
Yep. About like, and then like last game was like 150, but like yeah, it's like really been around like one to 175. I would say like just to give it a bigger margin. It's been literally just like yeah, it's and that's where like I said it's been an issue because of the fact that he's a quarterback that does not have that many yards thrown. Which I'm sure if we looked it up, he's probably like in the bottom tier of yards thrown. And again, that's not
I'm
good for his team.
I'm looking right now.
I would say I can see
Well, I'm looking at just oh, come on, they don't have. Trying to look at like
it's
his
okay.
average yards.
Average yards? Like, what do you mean?
Um, well, what is it? What is yards like? What his passing yards are
Oh yeah, I see it right
and
here.
shit.
He's at
He's 22nd in the league.
yep, 1,948 yards, 22nd. Does have the 15 touchdowns for 16th and 6 interceptions for 13th, but his QBR is still 23rd, and which is really low. Because you see those stats and you think, man, why is his quarterback rating so low? So low? Because those stats are nice if you're in week 7. You know, this is week 12, almost week 13. Those are low numbers, low stats. And then it's like, okay, well, you know, so that's that. And, what's his other, what about his rushing? And his rushing numbers are, oh, crap. Uh, no, sorry. I'm trying,
And
I'm trying to see how much his
his
rushing numbers.
rushing numbers aren't terrible, but
Oh, he has a total of 575 yards rushing. And he has 3 touchdowns. So, yeah, so he's ran the ball. He's ran the ball 103 times and passed and attempted to throw the ball 276 times, and he's only gotten almost 600 yards rushing. It's 575 for 3 touchdowns, and passing wise, so it's one of those things where yeah, he has 5 yards of carry on rushing, but that's a lot of time wasted too as a quarterback rushing the ball. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
and then you look at that as also like it's 100 like attempts that you didn't throw the ball that could have actually been towards your receivers, and you could have like hit like Marquise Brown, Mark Andrews. You could have hit them. That's the thing. That I'm not saying he can't be a. Yeah, you already know. It's just we'll see what happens this weekend though. I feel like he's gonna. Yeah. get a rude awakening, if you will.
Oh, for sure.
Saints versus Broncos.
So,
Saints all the way. That's not even a question, dude. That
yeah,
defense is
Saints.
that defense is gonna destroy Drew Lock. Melvin Gordon and Philip Lindsay might have a hope of trying to run the ball. That D line is stacked though. They're gonna hit. I think it's gonna be a Saints win all the way.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Saints are looking fucking good. Taysom Hill killing it as a backup right now.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe he's starting again, so
Yeah, and
I'm going Saints.
even if they do only get like a few scores here and there with Taysom quarterback, even if they only get a few scores, I still say that the Saints are just gonna the Broncos. Like just that defense, like I said, like defense is gonna win the game. All right. Next up, we got the Niners and Rams. Going with the Rams.
I'm also going with the Rams, and this is another one of my hammers.
Damn, we go with the hammer against the
49ers
Rams. Like
looking
for the
fucking. The 49ers ain't looking the best this weekend.
no,
And
you got Nick Bones.
when
I think still in. I don't know if Garoppolo's in or not yet, but I know like Niners aren't winning. They're not looking good. They got a lot of injuries. This is like one of those seasons where they're just like, well, let's look forward to the draft. So yeah, just one of those years, like especially with that NFC West right now the way it is, with the Rams, Cardinals, and the Seahawks. Like Rams and Seahawks in number one, and then Cardinals right behind them, and then the Niners are down there, kind of like hey, we're still here. Yeah, that's just all it is. So,
are you though?
are you? We'll see you next year, there, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. This is gonna be a good one. I'm excited for this one. Chiefs and Buccaneers. Now, don't get me wrong. I know people have their feelings about Tom Brady, about the offense, etc. But Patty Mahomes against that defense, that'll be fun to watch. I'm excited for
That
that,
is going to be a
and
very
I
fun
want to see
game to
Mahomes
watch.
and I want to see Mahomes and Brady meet again because I feel like Brady needs to hand the torch off to Mahomes and say, "Here, take this. It's yours." You know what I mean? Like Mahomes has been fantastic this year too. Like I mean, we talk about all these other guys. Josh Allen. We talk about Russell Wilson. We talking about all these guys who be like we're just like oh yeah, yeah they're really stepping up this year. They're really gonna be the number one quarterback. And no. Patrick Mahomes this year has been what kind of thing.
Oh,
Let me let me
this.
let me just go through the stats. Let me just go through the stats. 3,035 yards, first in the NFL for passing. He's like I think the guy behind him is like literally only a few years behind him though. But 3,035, number one in the NFL. 27 touchdowns, number three in the NFL. Two interceptions all year, first in the NFL. 85.3 quarterback rating, number one in the NFL. Like we keep talking about, like I mean, like I said, I still think Josh Allen is an MVP candidate. I will always say that because of how his year's been going. But I say candidate. I don't say winner. Winner, Mahomes so far is like 20 paces ahead right now.
Yeah, just in complete agreement with you on that one. I mean, Kansas City only had that one loss to the Raiders, which I think even they were a little shocked about.
I mean, Raiders just
So,
played the hearts out of that game. I mean, it happens. I mean, like it's not easy going undefeated. I mean, you like they probably were on their game, but like the Raiders, they were pissed. They wanted to win, and they got it. I mean, this last game, yeah, no, they didn't, but they got close. The Raiders have the Chiefs number. They're ready for next year, and so
yes, they are.
Chiefs right now though, they're like, hey, we'll see you next year. We got this year though. So, but yeah, definitely like Mahomes, man, he's gonna have a field day this coming week. But it's gonna be a good game. Chiefs, I say, are gonna win, but it's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be a fun to watch game.
Yeah, definitely going with the Chiefs on this one as well. But gonna be a close game. Yeah, I'm saying gonna be a good one to watch.
Yes, sir. And we got an NFC North showdown, the first one before, like I said, so first time they meet this year, Bears versus Packers, and then the second time they meet is gonna be Week 17. But we're talking about this one first. Who you got, Bears or Packers?
I got the Packers with a strong hammer.
So you go. Oh, the hammer drop, and the
The
only
fifth hammer of the week.
okay, and I can see why for that, especially with the quarterback situation in Chicago. Who is their quarterback anyway now? With Foles and Trubisky out, I know we have to look it up. I just was,
Yep, yeah, I gotta look it up. I don't even know who it is starting. Um,
but while you're looking it up, yeah, I agree. Freaking Rodgers is he's played this team his whole career, twice every year. He knows how to deal with them. He knows how to get through them. I mean, you got Aaron Jones is going to run the ball. They're going to do really well with that. Um, Devontae Adams, I think, is going to get a lot of catches against them. I think he's going to do really well. Um, the only thing that's to look forward to for this game is Clinton Dix. Clinton Dix going against his former team. That's the main thing for this one. Is ready to play against the Packers again. Or maybe. Who knows? We'll see. But definitely is going to be a Packers win on this one. It's gonna be a high scoring affair, I think. Though Packers don't really have a strong defense, so I think it's gonna be a Packers 35, Bears 31 win, maybe more.
yeah, I'm not sure who's starting for the Bears because they literally only have. Well, I mean, it's gonna have to be Trubisky.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have a third.
Oh, he's not ready yet to. He's not naming who's their starting quarterback coming up. Nat Agassy's better
Yeah,
model of Mitchell Trubisky.
well, Nick Foles is still listed as questionable right now.
This seems ready to roll. Not official because Bears coach Matt Nagy is trying to play games to keep the Green Bay Packers guessing, but Nick Foles was unable to practice on Wednesday for the second straight. So time, and Trubisky is handling the first team in his absence. Okay, 2 plus 2 equals 4, even at Hollis Hall. So figured on number 10. So they're thinking Trubisky is going to start this next game.
Yeah,
So it looks like we might see Mitchell Trubisky try to get his job back this next game. Either
let him
way
fight.
though, even if it's Trubisky or Nick Foles, it's gonna be a Packers win.
Absolutely.
And last but not least, I gotta go with the Seahawks. It's the Eagles. This is a hammer.
Your hammer. You leave my hammer out of this.
How dare you? It's the Eagles. You're not gonna drop a hammer again. Okay, see you. All right, Chief. All right.
So my reason for not dropping the hammer is purely on Russell Wilson.
I can see that. The only reason why I
And
do is
I'm
because of the way
not
the Eagles are playing lately, and I feel like as much. Yeah, I can see that. I think the Eagles' defense is not ready though. I think not that not ready. It's just more like I feel like they're a team that Russell is really gonna. He's not gonna handle
putting
them,
that
but he's gonna.
that's Jets hammer for the week.
Sure. Yeah, I think
We'll
it's
start
just.
you out small. We'll see what happens. I'm going ambitious in
Nothing.
5.
We're gonna start you with a small hammer. We don't get the big hammer till later. But yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like Seattle's like Russell Wilson is it's gonna tear apart their secondary. Like it's not gonna be a complete decimation, but he's gonna do what he can and get that ball rolling. Um, Seahawks defense definitely is gonna stop the run. I feel like if the D line gets after Wentz, it's gonna be a pretty brutal victory for the Seahawks. But I feel like it's actually more gonna be like a 24-17 win Seattle. It's not gonna be big. It's just gonna be like a back and forth kind of, not really. Just if you can make a play, you made a play. But yeah, that's it. So, and for you,
yeah. No, yeah. I think it's. Yeah, I think we're looking at like a 28-21. Or yeah, 28-21 Seahawks.
you don't think the you don't think the Eagles are gonna win?
No.
Not at all.
I don't think they're gonna win. I think they'll put up a little bit of a fight, but at the end of the day, Seahawks are gonna win this one.
Yeah. There we go. Just put in the stuff for next week. There, putting the stuff for next week though, because I'm getting it ready. Because we just went through our predictions, obviously. But yeah, I'm excited though. It's gonna be a good. I think it's gonna be a good week, and especially everyone's getting ready for Turkey Day tomorrow. It's gonna be delicious, gobble gobble, and you know, hopefully all you guys get to eat some good food. I know that Chief and I will. Well, Chief will be. I will be having some my own food, but we'll see. But
I got, I got something,
and yeah,
something small.
today was a good one. We had a lot of good rants, a lot of good talks. Almost went 4 hours there, Chief. I do apologize. Good lord.
Oh, hey, no worries.
Oof. Wow. Great. That's a talk. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming in and watching. I know it's been kind of in and out, but thank you so much for sticking with us. Gonna go ahead and shut this bad boy down so I can bring it on to YouTube and make sure it gets on YouTube because I know I've kind of slacked off on like the last one. I think I slacked off a bit, but we're definitely gonna get on YouTube and yeah, go ahead and share with your friends, family, all that good stuff. Um, I'll be making clips soon too, so this way we can get y'all to kind of see what we do, etc. Anyway, you guys already know. You guys are here. uh, anyway, Chief, as always, thank you for being here, joining us. Well,
Absolutely.
actually, join us, being a part of it, because you're the second half of this.
Always.
And I will be back on in a little while there, guys, in just a few minutes, because we're going to be playing some games, obviously. And then, yeah, we'll be doing some Thanksgiving morning shit. So, see y'all then.
Woo.
Otherwise, have a good one, guys. Happy
Keep it toasty.
Thanksgiving if you are leaving. Happy